All right. All right. All right. All right. Welcome to the Dynasty Hot Sauce Podcast, Day 2 NFL Draft 2022 edition. Big time stuff today, folks. Brees Hall, the 101 in Superflex drafts, goes to the Jets. Trade up a la Javonte Williams of last year. Supposed bell cow, great pass catcher. This is unreal. Keep adding to the offense. Protect the young quarterback. You have to at all costs. Just queuing some stuff up here. Excellent. Okay. All right. Charles, chill. Oh, man. Hold on a second, bro. Oh, yeah, baby. What up, my man?
How's it going, Mr. Larry Monkey?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I just started the show like a minute ago and just started to relish in the Brees Hall 101 to the Jets. Is that amazing? In
Yeah,
Superflex, they've never sniffed like the 101 in a Superflex. The Jets don't draft like that.
I mean, they had Zach Wilson last year, so this is 2 straight years where the Jets have like a legitimate top 8, top 10 asset in a rookie draft. I mean, how's that make you feel?
Yeah. No, I dig it.
How's your Michael Carter shares feeling?
You know what? I'm fine with the Michael Carter shares. I don't think they're not going to kick him to the curb. He's not going to be a third down guy either. I think they're going to utilize both. I think Mike LaFleur is going to. I mean, it'd be a waste. I mean, and these guys get banged up anyway. So I don't think you're just going to give Brees Hall. I mean, you could, but I don't know. These guys are going to keep each other fresh. I mean, who knows? I can't imagine them not using Michael Carter. I know we go back to that San Francisco offense where they rely on one guy, but I don't know. What do you think?
So is this like a second year Jonathan Taylor / Naheem Hines type thing?
Man, I know, right?
Because Hines annoyingly ends up getting 5-6 carries a game along with the targets.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Jonathan Taylor can still eat. So it kind of seems like that might be the best case scenario. And I mean, I actually think the Jets will have a pretty good line too. So I kind of like it. I mean, I never liked Michael Carter, but I think people are going to bury the perception. Don't you think the perception in Dynasty is Michael Carter is going to be absolutely buried? You'll be seeing him getting traded for thirds.
I can't imagine that.
You don't think?
He's such a crowd. He was a crowd pleaser. Everyone loves Michael Carter.
Well, okay, hear me out. Let's say we have 5 or 6 running backs here that go in the third round. Maybe one to Tampa, maybe one to Houston. These kind of landing spots. You don't think people will start taking those guys over the Michael Carter? You know what I mean? Like people will take Michael Carter, and if they're on the clock at like the 20, the 208 or the 212 or something like, and they really want Damian Pierce or Brian Robinson or someone like that, I think they would trade Michael Carter to get that pick. You know what I mean? Because he's not the shiny new toy. Whereas, this running back that landed in X place in round 3 is going to be a player that people are chasing. So I think his immediate market value will be depressed because he's last year's news and he's got the number 1 running back ahead of him now.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it. It should be interesting. I mean, he was banged up last year. I feel like they got to. I mean, listen, Tevin Coleman's the only other guy. Ty Johnson. I mean,
I like Ty Johnson, but he's buried at this point.
He can't catch. He can't catch the ball. He dropped like 3 third down catches in one game last year.
Well, and you know how many leagues I'm in, right? And I have 0 Michael Carter. But you know what? I'm going to have some Michael Carter going into this season for the reason we just talked about.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be able to use some of these later picks where people are chasing, this random pick because they really need to get, this running back or this receiver. And I'll be fine adding some Michael Carter. Zig when
Yep.
everyone else is zagging.
Hey, these guys get opportunities also. So, I mean, he plays rough, man. James Cook, end of the second round. So,
I mean, the Bills kind of forecasted what they said they wanted to do. Remember, they tried to sign McKissick and they couldn't get him, and he went back to Washington, and then they immediately draft like a McKissick replacement. So I think it was pretty clear what they wanted to do. So that pick makes total sense.
Yeah, nice luxury pick.
Are you feeling better about the? I'm not feeling good about this class because I don't think it's very good. But are you feeling better about some of the picks that you have, given where some of these receivers have landed, where at least you don't feel like you're getting completely shut out of these
what
picks?
Stinks,
you know what I mean?
What sucks is that none of these quarterbacks are pushing any of these guys down to the end of the first round, which you normally have that in a rookie superflex draft. You have your at least 2 or 3 quarterbacks that go in that top 5 range.
I mean, we have a record
that's
though.
how it's been, right?
We have 13 receivers that have gone in the first 54 picks. So if that doesn't tell you how the NFL views the value of that position, then I don't know what else does. But I mean, at least you're going to get. I mean, I think I don't know what your thoughts on John Mechie or Wan'Dale Robinson, but I think having George Pickens go to the Steelers, Sky Moore go to the Chiefs, and Christian Watson going to the Packers, that's going to be 3 receivers that people will legitimately push up into the first round. So that's like 9 receivers now when you take the 6 that went in the first round last night. That's 3 more. You have 9 receivers that I think people are going to take in the first round, which is good. It's good if you have like these second round picks and you don't know what to take. At least you're having some receivers that are bumping some draft capital talent back to you, if you know what I mean.
Yep. Wan'Dale Robinson. Now, the dynasty community kind of soured on him, I guess because of his measurements. He was too small.
Yeah, but I mean, shit, he was wide receiver 8 off the board. No one expected that. That was out of nowhere.
Yeah, I have him on a Devy league where you just I think it's a pigs league, and I've had him stashed forever. And then there was some hype around him, and then all of a sudden, they did his weigh in or whatever, and then that was it for him. But now, do you think he's going to be a Tony replacement? I know he showed up after the trade rumors. after they were like, we're going to trade you. Hold on, I'm on the next flight. I'm on the next flight out.
I don't know if a Tony replacement, but I think it will be it'll be interesting to see how they use him because he actually has, he has like a bulletproof profile. It's just he's small. And there's questions about, these small receivers. What is if you just take, see exactly what Wan'Dale measured in at, but if you just take, if you just take his measurements and you take everybody historically at those measurements or below, and you filter out for who's had the most targets or most receptions in a season or fantasy points, it's very bleak. You know what I mean? So just historical comps, it's very bleak. So then it just depends on, are the Bills or the Bills coaching staff from last year with the Giants now, are they able to kind of work a role for him? But even if he ends up being like Rondale Moore from last year, that's not even good. So, how much do you respect this draft capital? I think that's the question. I like John Mechie to the Texans. That's legit draft capital too, 44th pick. And even if he misses the first couple weeks of the season, I think that's another player that's going to potentially jump up into that range. I can see people taking him as wide receiver 9, wide receiver 10. So, along with Hall and Walker and probably James Cook, I think this draft has at least helped the value of your late firsts, early seconds just a little bit. But you're probably going to be stuck picking those players too. You know what I mean? You're not going to be able to trade the pick that you're about to pick John Mechie or James Cook. You're not going to probably be able to get a very good veteran with those picks, but at least you feel okay picking a second round talent, versus reaching on a third or fourth round talent, which we're going to start seeing here soon.
Yep. That's weird, man. It's weird with all these. There's going to be one quarterback. Now, where are you taking Pickett? 1-6? 1-5?
I was just on the Destination Devy stream, and we were talking about because Pickett's the only quarterback.
Is that me? Do you hear that?
Yeah, I hear some background noise. I think it is you.
Oh my God, yes, it is me.
Where's
Holy
it coming
shit, man.
from?
Yeah, I opened up. That particular what we were just listening to was Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh doing a post draft interview. That just popped up on my one of my messages. I opened up a Twitter thread and that fucking started talking. What were we just talking about?
Well, I mean, you asked about Kenny Pickett, and I mean,
Yes.
I think you have only one quarterback, and then as much as people want to probably push James Cook up, certain people want to push James Cook up because of his receiving, because of his name cachet. I
Yeah.
think you really only have one other running back that potentially can go in the first round too, which is Walker. So I think you're going to see Brees go with the 101, and then if you want a running back or you want a quarterback, you need to get into the first round, and it's going to have to be in the top 4 or 5 picks. I think if you want Walker, or if you want Pickett. If
You
you want
think
a receiver and you're at like the 108, you're not probably that worried about. You're going to get a good receiver. You might have to get Olave or Jamison Williams instead of
yeah.
Burks or Wilson or London, but you're not going to get screwed. You're not going to miss the tier of receivers because there's so
That
many.
yeah.
Whereas running back and quarterback, like you have one shot. Like whoever's in the spot where that pick is going to come off the board, they probably have some trade value.
And all those receivers are the same. I mean, who is
Yeah,
it
yeah.
where they landed? They all landed. I think they all landed in great spots. Most of them.
Well, and like I said, you have Christian Watson, you have George Pickens, and you have Sky Moore. All went to great spots. Fantasy is going to love the Steelers, the Packers, and the Chiefs.
Right.
So I think that those three are going to get pushed up the board as well. And it's like, if I'm at the 109 or 110, but I really want a quarterback or I really want a running back, I'm going to have to make a big move up. I'm not going to be able to just sit in my spot because I already know I'm getting a receiver. So I think it just depends on where your league is. If you're the team that needs a quarterback, like let's say you're at the 108, Pickett's not going to fall to you. Like, is he
Yeah.
really a guy you're willing to trade up to try to get? Like, is it really worth that much, or would you rather kind of just wait and take your chances, or maybe try to trade for a veteran instead?
If the Steelers didn't take Pickett, like if they just went another direction, where's Pickett going to go?
I mean,
Who's going to take him? Who's the
it,
next team? Nobody
it
wants a
seemed like
quarterback.
he was. It seemed like he was the one quarterback that I think there was kind of a consensus that people thought should be drafted. But I mean, he landed in a good spot too. Like if you're going to bet on him to at least just not suck or not bust, I'm okay betting on the Steelers. But I guess that's my question. If you're at the 106 and you desperately need a quarterback, what are you doing? Because I feel the price is going to be too high to try to go up and get him because he's the only quarterback. Everyone knows it. So I mean, what's the play? You know what I mean? How do you actually try to? Is he a guy even worth trading up? If he just becomes Mac Jones, or who would you rather have, Kenny Pickett or Zach Wilson? Unbiased.
Oh, Zach Wilson, without a
All
doubt.
right. All right.
They love
Can,
him.
can you
Coaching
get
staff
Zach
loves him.
Wilson? Can you get Zach Wilson for the pick you're about to take Kenny Pickett with? I think you can.
No, I can't.
Well, maybe not you, but I think you can.
I'm in a 12-team league, and I'm trying to get. Dabari just tried to come in, but he didn't. He didn't show up. His camera or whatever. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm trying to get Wilson off of her from the Angry Sports Couple. She has Wilson. She's got the 101. I have the 105, 106. And she won't. I've offered her the 105 for
And
Wilson.
so if Pickett's there at the 105, she won't trade that pick for Pickett. That's basically her saying she likes Wilson better than
You know
Pickett,
what?
even if Pickett's available.
I haven't done it since this was just maybe like a week ago.
Well, you
And I
may not
looked.
you may not be able to. You may not be able to do it until you're on the clock and Pickett's available.
Yeah, yeah,
So
you're right.
John Dabari live in Vegas.
Look at that. Freeze frame. Freeze frame. Freeze frame. What a visual, huh? Look at that. That's a mugshot.
Really. I saw your boy. Is Justin working tonight?
Yeah, he's working. He's behind the bar. I thought for sure the Falcons were going Malik Willis there at that second rounder.
Yeah, it's
Why
interesting.
not?
We've seen a ton of teams just pass and pass and pass and
Well, the
pass, and
Seahawks are up. What are they going to do now?
not
Everyone's
Malik
saying the
Willis.
Seahawks should take him.
Falcons are up in 2 more picks.
I was just
74.
on the DAP network draft show they're doing,
Mhm.
and we were talking about just that, and Bobby Koch was like, the Baker Mayfield's going to be the next quarterback that goes, because why would any of these quarterbacks at this point be better than Baker Mayfield? Like, why are you going to? They were saying if the Browns are just desperately calling every team right now. You want Baker for this pick? You want Baker for this pick? You want Baker for this pick?
I mean, I think the difference with Baker is you have to pay him, and you probably have to give up a pick for him. But yeah, I think you could get Baker right now for a
Well, I
sixth
mean,
round pick, probably.
we're at the 72nd pick, 73rd pick.
Well, but
Baker's
yeah,
not worth that. The former
no,
101 who just
no,
played injured for a year.
nope. I think if
Didn't he almost lead him to a Super Bowl like 2 years ago or something?
I think if you called the Browns right now and offered him a 5th rounder, they would happily just give you Baker.
Oh my God.
Which seems crazy, but I just don't think if there was a market for him and it was anything in this range, you'd think the Browns would have traded him already. Because they can't keep him on the roster for the season, right? He can't go into the season on the team. There's no way. That would be just a media circus. So I mean, who honestly is going to step up and give you a future third at best? I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be they're going to end up cutting him or get like a 6th rounder.
What's the hit rate on a 5th round pick? Oh my God. You watching this draft?
Let's see.
Did you see, like, they walked out to do the draft? They walked out, dude. This Colts pick. Are you watching the draft right now? Two
Yes.
guys come out. One is sitting on top of another guy's shoulders. Have you seen that yet?
I'm watching it right now. Yeah.
Keep watching it. Just keep watching it.
Oh yeah, I see it.
The one guy's seriously injured. Like, they just like dragged him off the stage.
That is crazy.
The guy on top got fucked.
Yeah, I see it. Oh, there he goes. Boom.
Oh, you didn't see?
Yeah, I'm seeing it right now.
I hope it was the guy on top that whose idea it was.
I just like how that other dude just picks up the card and like waves and just walks to the podium like I'm supposed to announce this pick.
Oh my God.
I can't check on you, dude.
Jelani Woods. Nice. Oh no. What does that do to Mo Alley Cox's
What's it do to Kylan Granson?
Oh.
Yeah.
3rd round tight end.
Well, I just got
like that Alec Pierce.
Yeah, someone just messaged me. I know what the next pick is. So I won't spoil it for you unless you want me
I
to.
feel like if someone messages you this, it has to be.
It is. It's the next quarterback off the board.
Wow. 3rd rounder.
And it's not Malik Willis.
Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Desmond Ridder. Wow. To the Falcons. Wow.
Yeah, that is an interesting one.
Remember when they were talking about him being like
late first rounder? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so what do you do? What do you do with I mean, what is going to be your approach with these quarterbacks like right now? Like, because they're going to fall, I think, in drafts to like the mid-second, late second.
I think you just take them when there's nobody else to take. Right? I mean, that's
but don't you think there's going to be a couple players that are going to be passed up because people just don't believe in their profiles? Like Tyquan Thornton goes to the Patriots with pick 50.
I mean,
which is
who's the 111 right now? You know, I've the 111 in
I think you're sitting pretty if you have one of the first round picks. And I'm not saying that I'm excited for the late first round picks because I'm going to get stuck making the pick, but I think you're going to see Walker, Breece Hall, Kenny Pickett, and then those 9 receivers that I mentioned are going to be pretty clear cut 1 through 9. So you're probably looking at George Pickens, Sky Moore, Christian Watson at the
Yeah.
111, 112.
Great situations too.
I mean, everyone hoped those guys would go to those landing spots, and they did. So I don't think you're going to see, like, you're not going to start seeing any of the secondary quarterbacks come off the board until at least like the early second, mid second.
I love the Jameson Williams to Detroit. I feel like it's like when AJ Brown went to Tennessee, and everyone was like, "Oh man, AJ Brown, that sucks," and he fell to like the 1.9, 1.10.
Well, again, it's not. Who cares about next year? Like, yeah, sure, you want Jameson Williams to be good right away, but he's coming off an injury, and he's most likely going to have a brand new offense in 2023. So I'm not going to really look at like his current situation and say
Yeah.
that's bad. So I'm
They're
like, I'm
playing
willing
for
to
2023. That's when they're going to take the quarterback.
exactly.
I mean, they're doing it. They're building it nicely. So they have a nice build so far. I would have liked to have seen. I mean, I guess you can't not take Hutchinson, but I want them to just keep piling on that offensive line.
So I mean, would you have rather had Jameson Williams over Garrett Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
Just from like the way he compliments Elijah Moore, like he could have been he seems like he'd be a better compliment to Elijah Moore than Garrett Wilson. But
I mean, his speed, yeah. But yeah, when you see Garrett Wilson, he's 5'11". But yeah, he's gonna catch the ball, and Wilson can, if he can catch the ball, then that's what you need. You don't want guys that are gonna drop the ball.
Right.
So you got Garrett with Wilson. I like Elijah Moore just as much as I like Garrett Wilson. I know he was the 10th overall pick. But
well, I think where it gets really tricky is when you get to the second round, because you're going to have a lot of guys that were high NFL picks. I mean, you're going to have a lot of second round receivers to choose from, and then you're going to have James Cook, Trey McBride. You're going to get some decent pedigree there, but I don't think it's going to be a consensus of, like, if we see some running backs that start to go here soon, I think you're going to end up seeing running backs starting to move moved up because of their landing spots. Remember all the third round running backs we've seen in the past, where a third round running back people still see as a potential starter. So I think you're going to see running backs starting to creep up ahead of some of these receivers, even though the receivers were clearly higher draft picks.
Now, the Texans were reported to have been wanting to draft Breece Hall, and that's why the Jets traded them. They leapfrogged them to make the deal. Texans are on the clock.
Yeah.
Do they take a running back here?
No, they didn't. They just went with another defensive player. So if you liked Isaiah Spiller, you're getting a little worried here.
Yeah. Creeping into that third round.
I could see Baltimore taking a running back here, though.
Ooh, yeah.
Because they've gone. I mean, you've seen what the Ravens have done. They got David Ajabo, who tore his Achilles, but was a first-round pick before he got hurt. And then they got Kyle Hamilton, who fell. And then they got Linderbaum, who is an immediate start. I mean, the Ravens have crushed this draft, but it's been all, trenches or defense. So I wonder if they try to replace Marquise Brown, like Calvin Austin, maybe, or Isaiah Spiller. I can see one of those two. Hopefully it's a skill player, but who knows? But you think if they go back to a running first offense, they may want to have another back with Dobbins. Because remember they were talking about Melvin Gordon and everyone freaked out?
Yep.
So
you got Khalil Shakur, huh? Khalil Shakur.
I'd be okay with Khalil Shakur.
Ooh, David Bell.
Yep. Justin Ross.
Yeah. Why not David Bell? I guess that was it for him. He might be a nice deal. That Linderbaum pick by the I thought the Jets, that would have been, I know everyone wants defense. I just want to protect Zach Wilson, give him every opportunity to be successful, instead of being like, oh wow, we had just done this, we had just done that. Let's do all that shit and then see what you got out of the guy. So I was going for Linderbaum.
I'm a Cincinnati fan, so I agree with you. Like,
right.
Give me a season where we're weak everywhere on defense, but just like we have a dominant fucking line where the quarterback doesn't get killed.
Yeah, you have to put up points no matter what. You got to score points.
Right.
Right. I don't know. Yeah. So how do you feel about the Bengals so far? Did they take a safety or something?
They've taken two defensive backs, which probably was their biggest needs, defensive back and defensive line. But
That
I
O
don't know.
line
This
is
this
all shored up.
yeah, I mean,
I know they had
I
the big the free agent signing.
I think so. And they did take that guy in the second round last year, Jackson Carman, and he
Okay.
was just kind of like a rotational guy that really wasn't that good. But I think they have pretty high hopes that he'll be okay. But yeah, there was actually just a thing that came out that he was accused of rape.
Awesome.
So that might, but they haven't addressed offensive line. I think this was one of those drafts where they kind of just needed to build, the non-sexy positions. You know what I mean? Like I could see them just taking all corners, defensive linemen, offensive linemen. I think they're definitely going to take a receiver because they're thin at receiver. Basically, after their top three, they don't have anybody else.
You got to pound that offensive line, man. You just got to keep at it until you have like a perfect one. Just keep molding it until it's. I don't know. That's
I mean,
how
no,
you.
when you have a season like the Bengals did last year, like literally their offensive line is why they didn't win the Super Bowl. So I almost just want to revert and go. I want to go extreme and have a good offensive line. You know what I mean? Even if it's at the
Yeah.
detriment of something else. Like if you just have an offense that can put up 30 a game, you're going to be in the mix. And then I think you just have to try to get by game with, your defensive schemes and whatnot. So I agree with you. I think I like how the Jets are trying to build. The Jets are going like, we're not going to win by scoring 16 points a game. It doesn't matter how good our secondary is or our pass rush or anything like that. Like we need to be able to score. We need multiple weapons to throw at you.
They've never had a fantasy relevant team ever. Never. You're never like, oh wow, like you look at the DLF rankings and there's no the Jets will draft somebody and they won't be on anybody's rankings. It'll be just that's that low on the totem pole.
I mean, the last I remember was it what 2015 with Fitzpatrick and Eric Decker and Brandon Marshall, and that was like a one-off outlier season. It wasn't like consistently built through the draft or anything.
Yeah. If you listen to the FF stories, you ever hear that pod?
Mm-hmm.
I did one on Brandon Marshall, and yeah, it was just like it's basically like Brandon Marshall's like the Ryan Fitzpatrick of wide receivers. He's just team to team to team. I'm so pissed that he has all the Jet records because it was just that one season he played. That was it. It's bullshit. So and I mean, look how long ago it was, and that's how. And it's like Don Maynard and Brandon Marshall. So stupid.
Shit, Don Maynard was before I was even born.
Yeah, man. He was catching balls from Joe Namath in the '60s.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that was before you, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. I don't remember Don. He wasn't around for me. Yeah. So and then Brandon Marshall has Brandon Marshall has every record, and Don Maynard has it's like the touchdown record or something. But yeah, he had like a 1,500-yard season for the Jets, which is unheard of. Anyway, I get into all that on the FF stories, where I get into Brandon Marshall, and I'm not really that great. I'm not really a fan, only because he just came and went. He wasn't really anything. They didn't even make the playoffs that year. I mean, but
so what you're
for the
saying
Jets,
is you want
it's like a big deal.
you want a new you're hoping this new crop of Jets weapons they have now is the next wave.
Oh, I feel like no, they've never had an offense the way they're building it right now. Just all these, they're building it. They're not bringing in outside guys. No, the tight end position. They signed a couple of old time free agent, Uzuma and whatever, Conklin. But
I actually like signing Uzuma and Conklin. I think that's just going to give Wilson two more. Neither of those guys are going to be exciting for fantasy, but I think for the Jets, it'll actually be useful to have both of them out there.
Yeah, exactly. They're not fantasy relevant. I mean, they'll have their random games here or there, but catch a random touchdown pass.
I mean, so what is it? What does it make you think about these teams that are seemingly just ignoring? Like, I'm with you. I think if I'm building around a young quarterback, I want to give him 4 or 5 weapons. You know what I mean? And sink or swim. Like they're setting it up where Zach Wilson's going to have 2 years to sink or swim. You're not going to feel after 3 years if he isn't any better than he was last year. You're going to feel pretty confident he is what he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're not going to be left wondering like, well, what if we would have done this, or what if we would have actually invested in skill players around him? I think you're going to know, which I think is the way to do it. And then I see, like what the hell are the Bears doing?
Yeah.
I mean, the Bears have nothing. So what are they going to do? Blame Justin Fields next year if he doesn't get any better?
That's, I've seen this. I've lived through it. That's why I am the way I am, and the way I look at the way I build dynasty teams. I've been through like the Jets, so I know that you have to. You've seen it. I've seen so Sam Darnold and Josh Allen came up together, drafted together. They're buddies. They train with the same, whatever. So Allen goes to Bills. Jets and Bills are basically parallel teams. But what does Buffalo do? They sign as many offensive linemen as they can. They sign all the wide receivers they can. This is their blueprint. The Jets, on the other hand, did the exact opposite. All they did was start drafting defense. They didn't neglect. They neglected an empty, like a bare cupboard of offense, and there was just Sam Darnold and nobody else. Just patchwork stuff. And again, Buffalo signs the big wideout. They bring Diggs in again. They draft offensive linemen and stuff. So they put Josh Allen in a position to, like, an insulated position where he, they've raised his floor. In other words,
Mm-hmm.
But there we go. Dabari again, not connected. He's trying to like hop on in the middle of fucking Super Bowl or whatever in the middle of the draft. He dropped out again.
Yeah, and the guy the Chicago Bears took, Velus Jones, I mean, 5th-year senior, never productive in college. Just doesn't really scream like that. Doesn't really scream desirable at all for dynasty, even though he's clearly the highest receiver they've drafted. So
yeah, you see, Tractors 23 in the chat just wants to know who's drafting Willis. Who do you think,
man?
Hello, gentlemen.
Oh wow, look at you, man!
He's at
Audio and everything.
Yes. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sweet. Yes, you can see the Ferris wheel behind me, and the stage is over that shoulder.
John Dabari on location, NFL draft, our NFL draft correspondent.
Man on the scene.
Welcome.
Ooh,
Where's Malik Willis going, John?
Where's Malik Willis going? What's the buzz? What's the chatter?
He's going tomorrow. That's where he's going.
With the 78th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, Cleveland Browns select Alex Wright, defensive end.
Okay,
UAB.
Alex Wright just selected defensive end UAB.
It's crazy. That's actually
he's
in
pretty
line
young,
with
huh?
my.
Look at him.
That's actually in line with my broadcast. Not
Look
that
how
far
small
off.
that guy is.
I can hear you guys before I came on, but now that I'm on, you're both all broken. I'm sure it's my dog shit connection. I was wandering around the draft event like a 50-year-old woman 10 years ago with my phone in the air. Like my arm length is going to make my thing work better.
Well, we can hear you coming through pretty good. I know you can't understand us, but it's actually a pretty good connection on his end.
Can you go on the Ferris wheel and then call us back, or what?
The funny thing is, everybody else is on their phone out here, so it's just me. I don't know what dog shit service I have, but it's not a glowing endorsement for Google Fi.
So did you see Sipes and Finaro, or what was that? Did you get to see Michael Sipes? Oh, there he goes.
Gone.
Look at that, man. The BlackBerry.
He actually sounded decent coming in. His
did.
signal wasn't terrible, but he apparently couldn't understand us.
Yeah, we heard the draft pick. So what is Cincinnati went to? They have, where are their picks? Who'd they sell their picks to? That they don't have any.
Well, they picked at the end of the second and the end of the first, so now they're going to pick again at the end of the third.
Oh, okay. So they have their picks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not used to picking at the end of the draft. You know, I'm normally used to
Look at
picking in
this.
the middle or the beginning.
So Matt Corral. Oh my God. Who's left? Is it Matt Corral and Malik Willis?
Sam Howell.
Sam Howell, right. God, we were talking about Sam Howell going in the first round potentially. Like Pittsburgh.
I think somebody's going to get a steal with him because, I mean, go back a year ago, if he would have come out last year, Howell would have went ahead of Mac Jones, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, Howell was a guy somebody liked. He lost all his weapons. So, I mean, he had a down year passing, but he showed a lot more in the rushing game than we saw in previous seasons. So, I was down on this class like everybody was, but I don't know. I think they've fallen a bit too much, especially because there's a lot of teams with needs that didn't do shit.
Well, we have the Texans and the Giants coming up. Two teams that could take a quarterback. Could.
Unrelated to fantasy, but I walked about 50 yards from where I was before, and I'm at a picnic bench that literally had to have been made a week ago. It just smells like I'm sitting in a pine forest. This is
Nice.
fresh cut lumber out here in Las Vegas.
I'm jealous. I kind of wish I was out there, but then if I was out there, I'd probably want to go home and just chill in my hotel room. So
No, I came. Yes, I came down and I'm ready to go home. I'm only here because I was going to talk to you guys. I was hanging out with Mike Sipes and Jason Walter and Finaro from a couple other podcasts and stuff. And I had to come down here to see the tent. So I was like, I'm going to go see where they're actually drafting from. So I wandered out here. And the booths are kind of cool. They got some signed stuff, Super Bowl rings. But, I mean, you got fucking Neil Diamond playing behind me. I could do without that. Alcohol is not readily available to my satisfaction. What really disappointed me, did you guys see the red carpet thing they had set up in front of the Bellagio?
No, I didn't.
So the Bellagio's got a stage that they built out into the water. And if I recall correctly, when the draft was supposed to be here in 2020, the stage was supposed to be out in the water, and they were going to bring the draft picks up on boats. So anyway, there's a stage there now with a red carpet. And I guess Sipes had told me they just did that. They had the rookies come and walk it on Wednesday. But it's a much better location to do the draft because the strip is blocked off. So you could have all the people out in the street, if you're familiar with Vegas, all the way back to Paris, and you could crowd the street. So having it over here is, I mean, it's a bigger stage, but the setup's kind of weird. I'm not the world's biggest fan of what they did setup-wise. But what do I know? They're a billion-dollar company. I'm just some dope.
Yeah.
You're some guy with a flip phone, right?
I wish. I hate smartphones.
I hate smartphones. Ooh, the Chargers. Where do they go here?
So what do you guys think of this overall so far?
It's very unfantasy friendly. The wide receivers are just amazing. That they're just flying off the board, and there's no. Well, I guess we have 3 running backs off the board, but
who's
Jelani
the third? I missed it. Who was the third? Who's the third running back? I missed it.
James Cook went to Buffalo at the end of the second.
Oh, I did see that. That's right. What'd you guys think of that? I was a lot higher on Cook, I think, than most people. I think a lot of people thought he's just a change of pace guy, but I think he's got the ability to be a 3-down back. Unfortunately, he's kind of similar to Singletary, which
I think the good news is that the Bills are probably willing to give James Cook a shot at a role because they did with Singletary. No one ever thought he would make it. So, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if, like, 2 years from now, James Cook is a guy that, is getting 200-plus touches.
Yeah. I think it's a great spot for him.
I was telling earlier.
Everybody for some reason, everybody just booed the shit out of Greg Dulcich, who just went to Denver. the whole place was booing.
Seeing, I think Pickens going to Steelers, Sky Moore going to the Chiefs, Christian Watson going to the Packers kind of gives at least the back half of the first round like you don't feel horrible about those picks.
Well, here, not back half of the first round. Let's talk about Sky Moore. We were talking about it, like I said, the guys that I met out here, we were talking about it a little bit in person. How high would you put him? I think he sneaks into the top 5 wide receivers. I'm a big landing spot guy, so my rankings go nuts after this weekend. So I realize I'm a little more reactionary than most people. But
I mean, do you take him over Chris Olave?
No, but I love Olave.
Do you take him over Treylon Burks?
No, but if you switch, I hate Drake London. I got Drake London at the back of my tier there. I put Sky Moore over Drake London for me personally.
I mean, that's hot.
Yeah,
I think if I'm sitting at the end of the first and I'm just looking to get a pedigree pick, I'm okay if I end up getting Jahan Dotson at the 112 or the 111.
Sure.
Like, I don't really like him, but it doesn't kill the value of the pick. Whereas if these 3 receivers, Watson, Moore, and Pickens, didn't land where they did, I don't think those back half and first round picks would have had nearly the appeal that they're going to.
Yeah.
And I think I was saying it in our chat was I think Pickens could be the Deontay Johnson replacement. I don't know if they want to pay him. That's going to be interesting.
I mean, the Giants could have taken Malik Willis, you know?
And they took a cornerback.
Corner.
Who knew Christian Kirk would have this much of an impact on the wide receiver landscape? That guy fucked up everything. That guy's agent wrecked. If he doesn't sign that deal, I don't think we're dealing with any of this craziness, right?
All the wide receivers would have stayed with their teams. Everyone was like, "Fuck this, man!" Christian Kirk.
Yeah. Yep. Christian Kirk has become the single most impactful fantasy player in history by default.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you guys this: Do the Falcons already took Ritter? They're not going to take a quarterback, right?
They're done, yeah, presumably.
Do the Eagles take a quarterback? We know how much the Eagles value backup quarterbacks. Do they take one here?
I think with what they've done, yeah, I think what they've done with draft picks and everything, and I may have tweeted out earlier, the way that they've, I don't want to say manipulated, but the way they've worked within the system, and this guy's available, we trade for him. They've done what most teams. I mean, look at the way the Bears are hanging stupid fields out to dry. They've surrounded Hurts with every weapon in the world now. Hurts has no excuse not to succeed in this year. And if he sucks, they have enough draft capital still next year to make a move to get his replacement and what's going to be, has to be a better quarterback class, right? So the way they've handled it, it doesn't make sense to get a guy to replace him at this point when it seems like they're pushing all their chips in for him to succeed now. Give him a chance. If he does suck, they have the ammo next year to bring his replacement in, who's going to be better than anybody they're taking, on the cusp around 4 today.
So they've accumulated a ton of picks, though. You don't think they take a shot on a backup quarterback here, given they took Jalen Hurts in a situation where you thought there's no way they needed a quarterback? I'm just saying they value that backup quarterback, I think, more than a lot of teams in the league do.
I feel like the Eagles, hold on a second. The Eagles have put in so much time and effort into telling folks that Jalen Hurts is their guy. Why would they just disrupt? It would make everybody nuts if they took Malik Willis.
They did it with Wentz, though.
But I think I don't know. Maybe they learned their lesson because I don't know. They've done a lot of talking about Jalen Hurts is the guy. He's the guy. He's the guy. He's the guy. Oh, we love our quarterback. That would just throw such a wrench in everything. Even if Willis was drafted in like the 4th round, which is where we're headed right now.
So here are the teams that are picking after the Eagles: Steelers, Patriots, Raiders, Cardinals, Cowboys, Bills, Buccaneers, Packers, Niners, Patriots, Bengals, Broncos, Titans. There's only like 2 teams in there that would take a quarterback.
Yeah. And you have a handful. I mean, you got to think Carolina maybe takes a stab at one of these guys.
They don't have a pick though.
When is their next pick?
The 4th round, because they traded their 2nd and their 3rd.
That's a terrible organization.
I mean, I could see the Titans taking a quarterback. I could see Tampa Bay taking one, but that's really it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unless they like Trask. Where would Trask be in this fucking class?
Who knows?
It's so crazy, man. All these quarterbacks flamed out. Everybody would like shit on them, but I don't think anyone expected them to be shit on by the NFL to this extent.
I think at some point it became a game of chicken for him, though, right? So if you had, just looking at the draft, right, Pickett was what they appeared to be the best in the class, and everybody else is in the 2nd tier. So it's kind of like chicken. If you think Willis and Ritter and Corral are kind of equal footing, then you kind of wait to see if somebody else pulls the trigger first. And then if they do, you could trade up and grab somebody. Oh, well, I guess I'll take the other guy who's my 2B to this guy's 2A. I thought once the next guy went, whoever it was, ended up being Ritter. But I thought when the next one went, we'd see some trades and we'd see all the remaining guys go in the next 10-ish or so picks. I mean, that obviously hasn't played out. But
well, apparently the Pittsburgh Steelers really like Malik Willis. Would they do that to Kenny Pickett?
Triple stack them up. I always think of that.
Because if they liked Malik Willis, he's probably on their big board. He's probably the one player that's sticking out. You know what I mean? But they couldn't draft him because it would screw up. It would screw up Pickett's development so much, meaning like he's got to beat out another guy that's ahead of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always wondered why teams that have extra capital don't double up at like quarterback. Say compete.
For the
whoever
Eagles go Malik Willis here.
They went Nakobe Dean.
Oh, they took Dean. Jets Twitter was all about Dean. They were so pissed about Breece Hall. Fucking Jets Twitter, man, all week. I've just been banging heads with Jets Twitter.
The only team I can talking about like double tapping at quarterback. I mean, look at the back in the day the Redskins did it, right? They took RG3 in the 1st, and then in the 4th they came back and took Cousins. And Cousins is, I mean, if Washington just would have kept signing Cousins, they'd have been in a lot better situation than they're in right now. But I don't know why more teams that need a quarterback don't bring 2 guys in the same draft and have them fight it out. Competition doesn't hurt anybody.
I'm here for Green Bay taking one of these quarterbacks.
I want that too. Just to see the craziness. Raiders are on the clock. First pick of the draft, right, for them?
The Raiders, yep.
The Raiders. They go running back here.
Got a little Raiders hat for today. So fit in as a local.
Yeah, the local team.
Who's the fastest guy remaining?
Fastest guy just the fastest overall player remaining?
Yeah, that's who they'll take.
Well, it's definitely not Isaiah Spiller.
It's a Haskins.
You know who it is? It's probably Calvin Austin, that little midget receiver that's like 170 pounds, ran a 4.28.
There's my prediction. We're going Calvin Austin.
He's projected to go in the 3rd.
They have to take a wide receiver here, don't they?
Khalil Shakir, Justin Ross, Calvin Austin, David Bell, any of those guys. We'll see how well
Alright.
John DeBari knows the Raiders if they just take the fastest dude on the board.
We've seen it how many years?
Rashad White, he's fast.
Ooh.
Ruggs.
He was the presumably everyone. That's where he was like the RB3, wasn't he? White coming into this.
But there's been a lot of steam that White was going to go like late third round or late day 3 of the draft. I would be shocked if he went in the third round.
Who's the backup QB for? Well, they're not going to take a backup QB with the first pick. But who is the backup QB for the Raiders? Oh, is it? They lost Mariota, so was it? What's his face?
With the 84th pick,
Some
Here we
terrible
go.
guy.
2022 NFL Draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers
Oh,
select
was it traded? Steelers. You're saying Steelers now.
defensive end
Or is this the last pick they're just announcing?
No,
The Raiders are up
next.
in 86.
So who the
picks
hell
away.
did the Steelers pick?
Some defensive lineman. DeMarvin Leal.
That Pickens pick though for the
Their
Steelers.
backyard.
Wow.
You don't like Pickens, Larry?
I do. I love Pickens.
I love Pickens.
I love it. I love Pickens for the Steelers too.
I have a ton of Deontay Johnson, so it kind of makes me a little upset.
Pickett might start the season.
All right, John. Kenny
think?
Pickett or Zach Wilson? I know you love Zach Wilson.
Putting the screws to me.
Why
The
do you have
Jets.
to hesitate?
The Jets had a pretty good draft. I think Zach Wilson, the typical fantasy conundrum, right? Higher ceiling or safer floor. I think Wilson's got a higher ceiling, but Pickett's got a safer floor. But swing for the fences, I will say Zach Wilson slightly.
to announce the New England
Wow, I
Patriots
can't believe it slightly.
No, I like Wilson, and I think the Jets are having a nice draft, building a decent team around them.
Just throwing the weapons. You gotta just keep adding those weapons, man. They're not used to that. Never happened.
Yeah.
Never happens to the Jets. This is amazing. This is like
New England
unprecedented.
Patriots select Marcus Jones.
I don't know why
Houston.
Donnie Osmond was on the stage over here.
Oh, dude, he was like wrestling with Michael Irving. Michael Irvin won before on the TV. Is it him? Yeah.
The Raiders have made a trade out
To the Pats.
to the Titans.
Titans looking for a running back.
Raiders traded up and got an extra 5th-round pick, so that's not a bad move. And the Raiders
So-
traded back 4 spots and got a 5th-rounder added
From
in.
what I've heard, that's where like everything ends in the 5th round in this draft. Like the 6th and 7th, there's just wastes. That's where this draft runs out of gas in the 6th and 7th rounds.
This draft ran out of gas in the first.
Yeah, there isn't really any. Well, there is intrigue. We're still waiting on the quarterback. It's amazing that the quarterbacks are this terrible. I mean, we're in like Russell Wilson territory. Once we get out of this, we're in no man's land.
Brady. There's a Brady in the wings. 6th round pick.
We're in Bryce Petty
Ooh.
territory soon.
You got to think the Titans are trading up to take a quarterback here. You got to.
Matt Corral.
Who are they jumping ahead of? Who's the next
Taking
few
Corral.
teams
We're
up?
taking Corral here. No, and you know what? They should probably add another wide receiver.
The teams were the Cardinals, the Bills, and the Cowboys, so I don't think any of them are taking a quarterback.
Yeah, they jumping.
Although wasn't there some Malik Willis to Arizona stuff out there that was linked? I could have seen them maybe taking a quarterback.
Arizona should take a quarterback. I mean, they got Murray's buddy from college, Hollywood Brown, out there to kind of make him happy. But, you know, he keeps complaining about his contract, hanging the baseball shit over the team's head. It's not the worst thing for them to have somebody in the wings in case the
I mean,
next
I
year or
knew
two.
they knew the Titans. I mean, the Cardinals liked Malik Willis because there was rumblings about that. So I could see them trading up to take Willis.
Ow. Pierre Strong still out there. That's a nice piece. That's the only running back the Jets brought in for a top 30 visit was Pierre Strong. I was the only person on Jets Twitter that wanted Breece Hall. And I could see it too. I saw it in my head.
I don't know what I think of it. I mean, I kind of like it. I mean, there were just better spots in the Jets for fantasy. I don't hate it. I kind of like when all the chaos hits. So just seeing all the Michael Carter truthers get murdered today, when that happened, it was kind of nice to see. I like the chaos that comes with it.
You're on with a Michael Carter truther right now.
I love Michael Carter. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, I just like all the pandemonium that happens when this stuff comes through. I mean, think about the guys that have been holding a candle for Rashad Penny for all these years. Finally has a little late season breakout. They bring him back for a year. People are like, it's Penny time. And the Seahawks just come in and go, fuck you.
That was great. I love
it. When they announced that pick, I have one share of Chris Carson. I went to that league and I just cut him.
Yes.
I literally just cut him because I'm going to need roster spots for the draft. I'm just like, you know what? Later.
Whoa, what's going on over there?
Are they booing the Raiders trade?
Nuts. What do we got? We got Packers fan and a Bear. You know, who's that guy? Seahawks guy and some Packers guys ridiculing a Bears fan, and I don't know what hat this other guy's got on. I think they're intoxicated. They're harassing people in the crowd.
So you have a Seahawks fan making fun of a Bears fan. Boy, that's like, two stupid people fighting.
No, not. Now the Seahawks fan has made his way to a group of Raiders. He's going to get stabbed. You better watch out. Oh, Willis to the Titans.
Willis to the Titans. Wow. Oh, he's not even there? Oh, wait, they're doing the pick now. I'm watching the pick now.
All right, so super flex. What do you guys do with this?
I mean, honestly, the landing spot could have been a lot worse. It could have been a team that was backed up a clearly better quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, I think it could have been a lot worse.
Are you taking Malik Willis with the 111?
No, I'm not taking him in the. I'm not taking him in the first round.
16 teamer.
16
What if you had?
teamer?
Yeah, I have the 111 in the HQ 16 teamer. I go Malik Willis. I feel like Sky Moore might be available. No?
So that's the thing. In a 16 teamer, you don't want to necessarily whiff on that pick. Would you take Sky Moore, Christian Watson, George Pickens, or Willis?
Yeah, Bari. We got.
For my options, Willis, Christian Watson, and who else?
16 teamer at the 111. So you assume there's going to be 8 receivers: Pickett, Walker, Breece Hall. So 7 receivers: Walker, Breece, and Pickett are gone.
Yeah.
So you get Christian Watson, George Pickens, or Malik Willis.
Pickens.
Pickens over Willis?
For me. What if you're a Tannehill owner?
Larry? I mean, it's a 16-teamer. If you hit on the quarterback, it's probably worth a lot more than hitting on a receiver.
Christian Watson, the only person besides Alan Lazard catching passes from Aaron Rodgers. And who else is?
Sammy Watkins.
Sammy Watkins. What?
Yes.
Sammy Watkins is on Green Bay.
It was a big splash in free agency. How'd you miss that?
So don't play Christian Watson in your fantasy team week 1. And then plug him in.
Right.
Malik Willis to the Titans. That's a good spot for him. Probably the best spot for him.
I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been one of these teams where he's just going to be a backup for 3 years, you know?
He'll have an opportunity after
2024. Yeah.
You know, you know what? He's got the athleticism where they'll have to put in a few packages for him. I mean, he's still what's his a third round? Still, he's a third round, right? He's a third round pick. They could use him in, you know, whatever. You know, like they used Kaepernick his first year. You know, where they just like put him into some, put some running plays in for him. Willis. Did they trade up or they just let him fall?
The Titans traded up to get him.
So the Titans traded up to get Willis.
The Raiders traded
with the
back.
Raiders. Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's right. That's interesting.
I'll tell you what. In a couple QB needy leagues I got, I might take Willis where I'm in that 111, 112 if he's there, because I'm desperate in a couple spots. And I mean, he's not going to do shit for me this year. I know that going into it. But.
And Tannehill, I mean, the way quarterbacks get injured too. Does he immediately? I mean, the third round quarterback. Does he immediately? I know we're talking about a third round quarterback. Does he immediately fall into the QB2? He's their backup based upon that draft capital.
Maybe. I just think it's a good spot because the Titans literally. I mean, if you look at Tannehill's contract, I think it's like $9 million dead cap next year. Not that they're going to get rid of him, but I don't think that's a situation where they at all have a backup plan after 2 years. So it could be a lot worse.
The knock on Willis was that there was zero pro concept at Liberty, right? So he has an opportunity to just sit here and watch a playoff team operate and pick up whatever he can absorb. But yeah, he's not in a position. He's not going to go into the Wolves to fail.
Please welcome 1990 NFL.
Maybe he won't be the QB2. Who knows?
And the NFL's all-time leading receiver.
And it's
I'm staying away from a third-round quarterback, even if it's Malik Willis.
Well, you know what you guys just missed? You just missed the Arizona Cardinals taking the fucking punter in the third round.
Ooh, I heard about this punter. I heard he was the best punter in a decade.
A punter went ahead of Matt Corral. And fucking Matt Corral showed up to the fucking green room. Matt Corral's sitting in a room somewhere. Like, is it me? Is that now we're gonna get this guy that fucking punts while we suck on offense instead? Okay.
Malik Willis is on like the fucking podium with the punter right now.
Oh, Dallas with Jalen Tolbert. What do you guys think of that one?
Yeah.
I kind of like it, but makes me think Gallup is going to take a little longer to come back than I want.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind that pick. I don't think he really threatens Gallup, but Gallup was a third-round pick too. So
I guess he kind of fills that Cedric Wilson role, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They've had a guy that gets involved after their top option. So yeah, it's okay. It's not great, but it'll be fun to use once a year during your bye weeks. I don't know if you can hear over my shoulder, but they're playing fucking MC Hammer.
let's see who is on the clock. Buffalo.
Jesus. Kyle Brandt guys were in Zuba's pants.
Oh yeah, wow. That's MC Hammer pants, right?
Western New York. I find it perfect that the Bills are drafting in this city of luck.
Right.
The Bills. They have James Cook. Do you think so? James Cook, is that it for Singletary, or James Cook is just going to be that McKissick guy they wanted?
No, they'll bring him along slow to make us all sick. He'll get just enough work to make Singletary worthless and not enough work to plug him in with confidence each week.
All right, yeah. Now I know what you guys are talking about. You're in front of me with Kyle Brand. I just saw the. Say the pick, man.
Select my man, Terrell Bernard, linebacker, Baylor.
The Baylor linebacker. Very nice.
He was very enthused to make that pick.
We need that energy with the punter.
I guess the punter didn't get drafted.
Oh, really?
No, it was a different guy.
All right, now the Raiders are back up.
To announce the Raiders pick, please welcome Antonio Brown.
Should bring out Henry Ruggs.
He comes out with.
Does Henry Ruggs ever play again?
No. He's going to prison.
Dude,
For how long?
He's got to be gone for life, no?
Nevada's got minimum. He has to do at least 2 years after court. So, I mean.
I thought he was facing up to like 25 years or 30 years or something like that.
Well, that's the upside. It's a 2-year minimum in Nevada. Like, there's not even.
Oh, my God. Only 2 years for that? Wasn't he hammered, too?
I mean, I'm assuming he's using some of that
Like a
signing
drunk
bonus
driving?
for an attorney, but the least he'll be gone is 2 years. Let's say his trial takes a year from today, 2 more years. I mean,
So
that's
even
bad.
if everything went perfect, he's at least like 4 years from stepping on a field.
Correct.
Yeah.
We'll say 3. We'll be real generous. He could be
Well,
out there for the start of the 2025 season.
But would he really be in shape after 2 years in prison to come right back and play? You know what I mean? Probably not.
Well, like, what about, is there like a good behavior thing? Or
No. I mean, you could. I just know it from working in the prisons. I mean, each month you're on good behavior, you can get 6 days knocked off. So, I mean, you have to actually get a calculator out. If he got 2 years, and he'd have to have a job, which he couldn't get like the first couple months. He's in the intake unit. So, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. But he could get his date to get moving backwards 6 days a month once he starts working in general population.
Don't you think the optics of that case with the video and everything, he's going to get more than 2 years, though?
They're probably going to prove a point, yes.
Yeah.
He's gone. Marcus Allen and Wayne Newton out here for the Raiders' first draft pick.
Wayne Newton.
Wayne Newton. He's made of leather these days, right?
I can't believe he's still alive.
He's not a hologram?
He actually doesn't look like that bad of shape for his age.
You got to get up close, Scott. He's bashed to pieces like a fucking old catcher's mitt.
How old is Wayne Newton? Guess.
I'm going to say he's in his 80s.
80 years old. Yep. Close enough.
Ooh. He might die before he gets through this announcement.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Marcus Allen, baby.
Okay,
Marcus
now I can
Allen.
see him. Now I can see him on my screen very clearly. He definitely looks right.
Oh, look at that hair.
Guard. Boy,
It's like
what
a
a
werewolf
downer.
woman hairdo.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to dip out. I'm going to head back home and take a nap before I got to go to work. It's just waiting for a good time to get out of here. This Raiders pick is probably it.
So did you let us? Did you tell us? So it's Corral now. That's it. Where's he going before you leave?
No, there's somebody else, right? Weren't there 5 of them?
Sam Howell.
Sam
Corral and
Matt
Howell.
Corral, yeah. But Matt Corral was getting like #1 quarterback talk.
I don't know. I mean, look, Howell was the top guy. Like I said, a year ago, everyone was like, oh, Sam Howell. I think he's being unfairly treated Somebody should go to Tampa here or whatever.
Oh shit! Okay, we got it. This is going to be the guy that cracks the top 10 in drafts. Rashad White to Tampa Bay.
Oh,
Is it
draft
official?
tackle? Nice.
I just saw it. Yep.
Third round
Really?
running back?
My Keyshawn Vaughn shares are disapproved.
Yep.
Oh wow! How about the run and gun league where I traded a first for? I traded Keyshawn Vaughn for a first from the Dynasty Theory guys.
You got it first?
Yeah.
From
Good for
John
you.
Bauer right after the draft when he was going crazy over every Keyshawn Vaughn share.
Good for you.
That's a rough hill to die on when that's a big miss. That's why you diversify and you don't go after the same player in 15 fucking leagues.
Would you rather have Keyshawn Vaughn or Trey Sermon? I'd still rather have Keyshawn Vaughn.
I'd rather have Trey Sermon. The way
I think I'd rather have
running
Sermon.
backs get hurt in San Francisco.
I hate Trey Sermon. All right, fellas. Good to talk to you. Enjoy the rest of the draft.
All right,
Hey,
see
man.
you.
Take care,
Later,
buddy.
boys.
All right, John DeBari in the house. That was nice of him to on location.
Yeah, it
That's
was.
pretty cool.
It was.
The
I want
Jets
to
are
stay
coming up.
through. I'll stay through the. Let's see. We got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks left in the third, and then we got all the comprehensive picks in the third, which I see the Jets have a pick in there. I'll stay through the end of the Bengals pick. It's 95.
95 is the Bengals.
Bengals got a 95. The Jets have 101, so the Jets are in the comp pick. So yeah, Jets are going to pick another one tonight.
So 95, they have to go offense here. Come on. I think they should go running back. Do they love Chris Evans? You love Chris Evans?
I think they will go wide receiver. They need a receiver. They really only have 4 receivers on the whole roster.
Who is their wide receiver for?
Well, right now they have Stanley Morgan and Mike Thomas.
Mike Thomas, yeah.
And that's it. So they really do need to take, and I think with these receiver contracts, I'm not sure they're going to be able to keep T. Higgins. So
right.
I think
T. Higgins is going to be a $25 million guy.
Well, yeah, and I don't think you can necessarily pay 2 receivers $25 million. You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense. So
that stinks.
I think they end up drafting. If it was me and they like a receiver here, I would draft. I mean, I think David Bell could be a replacement for T. Higgins or Tyler Boyd. I sure hope they don't take Calvin Austin, or I'll be fucking
take over
pissed.
the Tyler. Yeah, because you need someone to take the Tyler Boyd side. I mean, they're in their window right now. They need to just keep throwing shit.
Well, you know what the funny thing is Tyler Boyd only makes like $9 million a year. That's a fucking steal in today's market. You know?
Yes, yeah. He's like a Jamison Crowder, like Jamison Crowder is like a Tyler Boyd light, I guess.
I mean, Tyler Boyd's probably better than Christian Kirk. So if I'm Tyler Boyd, I'm like, hey, let me hit free agency. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. I would definitely want Tyler Boyd over Christian Kirk. I mean, so what's your inventory on what's your Christian Kirk inventory? You have him anywhere?
A lot, yeah. I think I have,
you have a lot of Christian Kirk.
I have
nice
12% Christian Kirk. So probably like 6. I have 6 leagues with Christian Kirk.
So are you moving him? Because obviously the Jaguars haven't figured out that he's Christian Kirk yet.
I mean, I actually think he's decent.
He's going to get the target share. They're going to feed him the ball because he's their number one. He's their number one wideout now.
He's a wide receiver 3. He's probably a guy that maybe could crack a top 24 season, but I mean, I'm not in a hurry to move him because I don't think that.
Who's catching balls?
Exactly, but put it this way: if you're on the clock at the 2:02 this year, and 9 receivers are already gone, would you trade that pick for Christian Kirk?
That's a good question. The 111 or Christian Kirk?
Well, then, I mean, I think that's where it gets even more sticky because, like, would you take Christian Kirk over Christian Watson?
No. Oh, man, that's tough.
I mean, George Pickens or Sky Moore?
Because you have to think that Trevor Lawrence is obviously going to be a different quarterback this year. Yeah, he has to be.
If Trevor Lawrence is good, then Christian Kirk could have a big season. If he's good,
Because
Christian Kirk will be
he's got
good.
no one else to throw to.
Right.
Evan
I agree.
Ingram, come on. Who else are they going to? I mean, he's their big money acquisition, so they're going to force feed him the ball because of that.
I mean, I think Evan Ingram could be okay. I think Marvin Jones is still there. Like it could be annoying. Laquan Treadwell is still there. I mean, there's going to be guys that get targets. It's just you'd think Christian Kirk would be the best of the bunch.
Zay Jones.
Yeah, they signed Zay Jones. I mean, it could be really gross, but
It's just a mushy wide receiver room. I feel like it's one of those rooms where you don't want anybody. And you want to move. I mean, you want to get rid of Christian Kirk after his first good game.
I agree. I was thinking Green Bay might take another receiver here, but nope. That'd be too smart.
Really? Will they take a tight end?
Fucking tackle.
Oh.
David Bell's still sitting out there. Shane Manila loves David Bell. He's going to be disappointed when he falls to the fucking 6th round.
Wow.
Like Tyler Johnson.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so you got to think that Malik Willis kind of saved himself a little bit with the landing at Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. I think for both Desmond Ridder and Malik Willis, they landed in spots that are, I mean, if you're all you're looking for is potential.
Well, I feel we might see the tide turning, or there might just be like a transition with the way quarterbacks are maybe drafted after the season. Because now isn't the 5th-year option is not guaranteed for injury now, or it is guaranteed for injury. There's some type of new guarantee that they baked into the 5th-year option this year.
Yeah, it's fully guaranteed. So it used to be before it was just injury guaranteed, where like if the guy didn't get hurt, then it was off the table, or it was on the table. It's just injury protected. Now it's fully guaranteed. Once they pick it up, you get it for sure.
So does that affect their reasoning behind trading into the first round?
No, because I think the teams already know whether the quarterback's worth extending to a big deal if they by the time they get there. So someone just asked, was it you that said Trey Sermon?
For what?
Niners just picked the fucking running back in the 3rd.
Did they?
So there goes Trey Sermon.
I love the guy that made the pick is called Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah.
Who the hell is this guy, dude?
Tyrion Davis Price.
What? Where did anyone have him? See, this is like a Jets pick.
He was projected. I'm looking at the mock draft database right now. He was projected to go in the 7th round.
The 7th round.
Yep.
3rd round pick.
Yep.
Wow.
You know who's still out there? Isaiah Spiller.
Isaiah Spiller. Yep.
Isaiah Spiller is still out there.
So have you ever heard this guy's name before?
Yeah, he was a big time recruit from LSU. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he should have gone ahead of some of the guys that haven't gone yet.
Is he like the
But I don't think he should have gone to the 7th round either.
What was the running back the Jets drafted from Florida? What was his name?
Michael P. Ryan?
Yeah, Michael P. Ryan. Is he like a Michael P. Ryan type of guy?
No, I think he's better than P. Ryan. This draft has a ton of running backs that are like Davis Price. Like I couldn't really tell you who the RB 5 through 20 was going to be. Like thus far, we've seen. I mean, obviously, I think James Cook was. A lot of people thought he would get drafted pretty high, but after that, I mean, like I would not have been able to guess that it would have been Rachaad White and Tyrion Davis Price off the board as the next 2 running backs. Like I would have never guessed that. I would have taken 10 shots, and it probably wouldn't have been either of those 2. So, I mean, I don't really even know where you go because I mean it's just random. I think teams are probably there's so many good running backs in this class that are in this range. It's probably just picking who you think is like the fit for your system. You know what I mean? That's got to be it.
Now, how does Carolina not take Sam Howell here? 3rd round. I mean, are they still gonna? I mean, I know you can still get a quality. I feel like you can still get a starter in the 3rd round. Do they roll the dice on getting a starter, or they roll the dice on maybe a Sam Howell, or are they just gonna?
They just traded up, so again, honestly, if they take a quarterback here, then it's another good landing spot because it's another place where the guy could play. You know what I mean?
In his college town, right? North Carolina.
Yeah,
You're ahead of me, so just might as well just tell me when it happens.
I just am looking. Well, I have like 3 chats open too, so people are like, "Oh, people are tipping."
Everyone, that drives me nuts, man. Even though I did it for the Brees Hall because I was super excited, I just went right to the fucking HQ, and it was right after someone was complaining about tipping picks, and I was like, Brees Hall to the Jets.
I mean, listen, you were probably excited about that, so I
I
don't
was
blame you.
pumped because I felt like I was the only person that had my eye on Brees Hall and talked about it to the Jets. These fucking Jets Twitter is just so ridiculous with their defense. Get out of here with your defense. Oh, we're last rated defense. Who gives a shit? Worry about defense some other time. Let's protect this guy. Give him a
So
chance.
I'm sitting here looking at these quarterbacks, and yeah, I just saw it.
I mean, unless you want a piece of Georgia, there's that linebacker that's still out there.
No, he went. Nakobe Dean.
No, the other guy. There's another the other Georgia linebacker.
Let's see. Channing Tindall. I think that's what you're referring to.
Okay.
Well, you were right. You were right. The Panthers did take a quarterback, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
They took Corral.
It was Corral. Yep.
Wow.
Not Sam Howell. So
Matt Corral, strong arm.
And honestly, like, there's all he's got to do is beat out fucking Sam Darnold. I mean, like, it's not a terrible spot for him to actually get a shot. You know what I mean?
Well, got some rushing upside as well.
I mean, where would you take Corral? Would you take him ahead of Ritter? Ahead of Malik Willis? Because I think he's got a shot to start this year at some point because Darnold's not very good.
Well, I mean, Darnold's not very good when he has nothing around him, and they had a shit offensive line and no CMC. He was great when he had CMC. So I mean, he knows he's up against the wall. He knows this is his last shot, especially now.
Okay, so if you had this draft pick and you were on the clock and it's the 206, would you draft Matt Corral or trade it for Sam Darnold?
No, I mean, I'm taking Matt Corral. I'm taking the rookie that doesn't have the baggage that Darnold has.
Right.
You know? Corral.
Interesting pick. Very interesting.
Yeah, so, I mean, this sucks for Sam Darnold because, I mean, they talked about it that they were looking to take a quarterback. So whatever, maybe, who knows? But is Matt Corral that terrible that he lasted to the 3rd round?
I mean,
how does that make sense? I mean,
I think
there's got to be something to this.
I think part of it is probably just there was no other people that wanted to take him.
I mean, does it have anything to do with the fact that there aren't quarterback desperate teams?
Yeah,
other than the Steelers, and they took us a quarterback.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. I think the teams that wanted these guys just kind of waited for the sweet spot to take them. They weren't in a rush.
Quarterbacks went to some nice spots. I just saw that graphic. Ritter. I don't know. This is going to be an interesting super flex ranking. It's going to be weird, especially with the early rookie drafts. The rookie drafts that happen right after the draft. Because when you don't know how things shake out, like the rookie drafts that happen after the mini camps and after those late season rookie drafts are going to be a lot different than the ones that are going to be next week.
Yeah, you mean if there's any like movement with the quarterbacks potentially?
Just shakeups in the depth chart. Yeah, the quarterback buzz. and all that stuff. Here it's the rookie drafts that happen right after this. There's this whole draft has been there. I mean, the relation to fantasy has been just all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so mysterious almost. So things there'll be more clarity for the rookie drafts that occur 6 months from now.
I mean, I like doing the drafts right after the draft. I think it's you got to just go off your first gut feeling.
Yeah, no, I love it too.
If you give it a couple weeks, everyone's kind of already come together on like the consensus of how it should go. I like just having to start right away, like Saturday night, Sunday morning, you're on the clock.
Yeah. Here we go. Oh, you must know this pick already. It's just a whatever
Told
pick.
you all non-exciting picks for the Bengals.
Why are they? Dude, are they that confident in the offense that they're that cocky that the offense is done already?
I mean, they signed Hayden Hurst. I think they're fine with their running backs. As much as I wish they would get another running back, like I don't really like P. Ryan, but I think they like P. Ryan more than I do. But there's plenty of running backs. They will take a running back, or they'll sign a running back in free agency. I think they will get another running back.
They clearly love P. Ryan since they gave the ball to him to end the season.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I mean, they do need a receiver, but I mean,
who's their tight end right now?
Oh, Hayden Hurst.
Oh, duh, yeah. Who isn't anything special?
No, I think they will take a tight end too. I could see them adding a running back and a
fourth
running back.
Michael Carter was the fourth rounder, right?
Who was?
Michael Carter.
Michael Carter, yep.
And there was another, and then what's his face was the guy from San Francisco. It's like a 6th rounder.
Elijah Mitchell.
Yep.
The Colts.
That Alec Pierce pick though. The Colts.
Yeah, that's one we haven't really talked about. I wasn't a huge fan of Alec Pierce, but he went ahead of Sky Moore.
So look who we had thrown to him.
Ritter.
Alec Pierce, Cincinnati.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Colts. All right, so we're into the supplemental picks.
All right.
I wonder if Detroit or Washington.
Detroit, Washington. I mean, these are some QB.
That's a Sam Howell landing spot, maybe, right?
Sam Howell would fit nice in either of those teams.
Hey, Ruben wants to come in.
Oh, where is he? Tell him to hop in. Where's his?
I'll send him the link.
Yeah. I should always drop the link into the hot sauce.
He's going to.
My phone just died. You motherfucker. That's it.
Ruben's gonna get fucked. He was fucking pissed that San Fran took a running back, a guy that was way buried down there.
Yeah, Ruben was on last night. It was funny, man. It was fun having him on. The DJ. Oh, dude, did I reject your 113 for a 24 first? Did I do that yet?
I mean, hey, you might be able to get George Pickens or Christian Watson now.
That's it could be a quarterback. The 113.
I figured I was going to be stuck with that pick, but we'll see.
24 first. You know what? I thought it was the run and gun league, and I was going to smash it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm in on this. All right,
Tyrion Davis Price.
Look at Ruben. What is that? A fucking bird cage behind you there?
It's a dog crate.
That's where Ruben sleeps.
That's Ruben's bedroom. Oh, here we go. Look at this guy. He always fuzzes up his background.
Yeah, because my shit's
Is that a fucking big gulp? 7-Eleven big gulp you got there?
Ruben, Tyrion Davis Price got picked, and Larry's like, who the fuck is that? So I look, and he's projected to go in the 7th.
He had 1,000 yards last year.
No, he's okay. It's just
10,000 yards.
There's so many running backs in this tier. I think teams are probably just picking the guy they think fits them. That's it. There's
why do we take a running back in the 3rd? We got like 5 of them.
At Superflex DGen, here we go. The
we need
commissioner
a corner
of the Dynasty Degenerate Leagues. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah.
So Ruben, Do you like Trey Sermon or Keyshawn Vaughn? For some reason, we were fucking debating that for 5 minutes.
Sermon because he's younger, I think.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
What? By
I don't
what?
know. Isn't
Maybe more than a year younger than him.
Oh, Keyshawn is really old. I think he's 25 already.
Isn't he a different draft, or were they the same draft?
Keyshawn was a year before, so
Yeah,
he sucked for an extra year.
Yeah, he sucked for an extra year. Kyle will play Sermon if Mitchell gets hurt, if he's healthy at least.
Sermon will get a shot. He's got that
He
third round.
looked
draft
good on
capital.
one play against the Eagles, and then they murdered him. And he basically
turned into Dante Pettis and Brandon Ayuk. And
no, he just got
everyone else that he hates.
He got knocked the hell out. And then by the time he came back healthy, Mitchell was killing it. So they're like,
so here's my question: is Tyrion Davis-Price is not fast. So how does he fit better than a lot of these other guys that were available? I just wonder what Kyle sees in him to take him so high when you could have got him in 3 rounds, probably.
I'll tell you tomorrow, I guess, after I hear the press conference.
He's a locker room guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a special team. Maybe he's a great special teams guy.
Is he a returner?
Oh.
No, he's a plotter.
Look at Mel's best available. Sam Howell's in the top 5. He's the 4th best available. Lions could go Sam Howell. Why not?
Tyrion Davis-Price had the most receptions he ever had in a season was 10. So he
most
is a
receptions
true,
is 10.
He is a true just
awesome
plotter.
The Lions pick is in.
I could see the Jets going Ruckert, tight end.
Dude, the
local guy.
The Jets have killed this thing, right?
Charlie Kohler.
Dude.
Other than Breece Hall, I don't know what else. Did they do anything else today?
Nope. That was their only pick.
That was great, though.
Oh, dude, it was amazing.
Everybody's like, like a bunch of my leagues are like, oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. I'm like, you really think Michael Carter's gonna impact him?
Dude, I was feeding my kid, and I just started fucking with everyone on all Jets Twitter. I was just going after when they're all complaining that they didn't get fucking Dean, who has like a secret meniscus tear.
Peck. The Peck tear.
I saw from Schefter it was a shoulder injury.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, then I saw
somebody had a meniscus.
Either way, it was something. It was something the team.
He didn't want to get surgery on or something, right?
Yeah, they just said it was a concerning injury that he's going to have surgery on. So it's like teams are just probably just not.
You have your running back room consists of Michael Carter, Tevin Coleman, and Ty Johnson. What? You're content with that, Jets Twitter? Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you, Jets Twitter. Get the fuck out of here. You just took the best running back in the whole class. The 101 over quarterbacks. The 101.
I just traded for the 101 in that one league, Scott. I like that landing spot for him.
So, Ruben,
I mean, the only thing that would have killed you is if he would have fallen in the draft, but he didn't. He went basically where Javonte did. So, I mean, I think it's a smash, especially it's a point per carry league.
Yeah.
Are you really going to be happy getting receivers at those picks? No.
David Akers or Breece Hall?
David Akers, I guess I'll take a running back over a kicker.
Isn't David Akers the old left-handed kicker or left-footed kicker?
Oh, Jesus. David Akers. Yes.
What are the Commanders doing?
Kicker. Cam Akers or Breece Hall?
Brian Robinson. That's the Antonio Gibson competition right there.
All Antonio Gibson owners. This is what
Breece Hall's running back. What? 6,
this
7?
Is what all. Yeah, but hold on a second. This is what all Darius Geis owners did when they took Gibson. Is what all the Gibson owners are doing right now when they took Robinson. Not that Geis was ever, but remember Geis though. He was the 102.
Scott's got him on like 30 of his rosters right now.
I got a lot of guys. Listen, if he gets another shot, I'd rather have him over like Ty Johnson and those types.
Is he still in fucking money shape? Is he like a brick house still? Is he still?
According to that agency, I think I posted it in the chat. You saw that his agent tweeted that he just did a combine workout in front of scouts.
The Geis did.
Apparently, he ran a 4.43 at 246 pounds.
What?
Which is
Tight
that's
end
true. And that's
territory.
like, I
He's gonna
mean,
get another shot.
246. That's like Derrick Henry size, and that's like Derrick Henry fucking speed at that size.
You don't want to get it. You don't want to get in his way at all, ever.
Nope.
Not even in the supermarket. You don't want him hitting you with a shopping cart.
You guys done?
I mean, his girlfriend shouldn't have gotten his fucking way either.
Ah.
Now, apparently, all his charges got dropped, so that's a little bit of a mean comment about guys.
Browns. Why didn't the Browns just like make that trade when they got Watson? Would have been easier.
What do you mean?
The Browns traded with the Texans today too,
Okay.
so they traded with them twice in a few weeks.
Remember when the Browns traded Trent Richardson? That was like one of the greatest trades ever.
To the Colts for what?
Yeah, for a first rounder.
Oh, here we go. I just saw the Browns pick. I won't tip it for you guys.
Oh God. Just tip it.
No.
Yeah, I dig it.
That's
I
nice,
liked it.
there, right? I mean, there's nobody else there, but other than Cooper, and he's not
Why
that
aren't you?
great.
Yeah, they need a wide receiver.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna. I
Nice
can't argue.
pick.
Because everybody keeps saying Fuller's going to end up there, but he'll get there and then he'll like get a hangnail and be out for 7 weeks, and then he'll come back and he'll get a hangnail on the other toe and be out for the rest of the year.
I mean, listen, with David Bell going with Watson and Jalen Tolbert going with Dak and Sky Moore, George Pickens, Christian Watson, like we've actually got some decent landing spots for the later receivers. You know what I mean? Like I don't really want to draft David Bell in the late third, but in Dynasty, people will be taking him in the first like 18 picks because of this landing spot.
I mean,
He's
there's
a
not
top 20 pick, is what you're saying, David Bell?
I think because of his profile and the fact that he went to a team with Watson in round 3, he will get pushed up probably higher than what his pedigree says.
Now, this was their first pick of the whole draft, right?
Well, they traded for one.
So this is their second pick?
No, yeah, this is their first pick because they traded that pick away.
Okay.
To the
So
Texans.
if this is their first pick in this whole draft, like this is their showcase pick. Like
They
this
might
guy's
put
going to
out-
get an opportunity just because this is their first pick.
They didn't put out any videos like the Broncos did of pick number 9 calling Russell Wilson like, "Hey, we want you," and yada yada. Did you guys see that?
I did not.
No, I didn't.
Oh my god, it was horrible. So corny. Like literally at pick 9, Russell's wearing all Broncos gear, and the GM calls him, said, "Hey, we're gonna take you here at number 9, blah blah blah, this and that." The Chargers did something similar with Khalil Mack, but they didn't do a video. They just did a graphic.
All right. Who the Jets go now, baby?
New York Jets are on the clock.
I can't even cheat myself. If I had my phone, I'd just be refreshing fucking Rappaport. Or no, actually, I probably know the pick already. I got all the Jets beat guys.
Get a refresh GP.
Yeah, if you're getting spoilers, you'll probably get it before all of us.
Yeah, my phone died. No, I had the Breece Hall pick like 5 minutes before the TVs even entertained.
Because these things are in, and they're like I said yesterday, they call it in and it goes in right away, and then it goes out to.
I mean, last night there was a point where I swear ESPN was like 15 minutes behind Twitter.
I don't understand how they get so far behind.
I didn't want to get involved like that. We just kind of stayed the course. We tried to do our best, but
no, last night was good. I didn't want to get tipped last
all right,
night.
Scott.
I started where I didn't want to get picked.
What is it?
Forget it.
I think the receivers that are falling, Khalil Shakir is a receiver that's falling. So if you're thinking receiver, that might be the one.
I'd love for the Jets to go to another receiver. I'd
And
like
they were-
anything offense. I just want offense. Fuck the defense. I want all
And they were
offense.
saying that, like, when the Niners, all the talk about Debo getting traded, they were talking about that guy coming in as the Debo replacement.
Who?
Shakir?
Khalil Shakir?
Yeah.
I think Ruckert would be a nice pick. He's a Long Island guy. They need a tight end.
Charlie Kohler, another tight end.
Is that who they took?
No,
I don't know.
I just thought that might be one. Ruckert could be a good pick. He's probably the next tight end that's going to go.
I think they got to go offensive line. Just give me the O line. Center. Need a center. third round center. There's still some. I mean, it's a deep offensive line draft. They didn't really churn them all out. We had that off. Well, we kind of we had about 5 O-line in the first round. With Linderbaum as being the last
more
guy.
than that. I think there was like 8 linemen in the first round.
Was there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because of the guards and stuff.
The guards went, yep, and then Linderbaum went.
Pick is in.
Dude, this is fucking fucked up, man. I can't believe my phone just died on. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna go to Twitter. Fuck this. I was gonna use Twitter on my phone. You just go.
Do you want me to tell you who it is?
I just
You
saw
know
the pick
already?
in the chat. Yep.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Oh fuck! What
You
is
want
it?
to know?
Yeah, tell me.
Jeremy Ruckert.
Yeah, nice, great
You-
pick.
You called it, Larry.
Salito's boy.
This is
Nice.
the
All
first
right.
draft in a while where Larry's actually like excited. The Jets are not fucking it up.
Yeah,
No,
dude, they're going all offense, and they've never done this. They the history of the Jets. All these dumb GMs just draft defense, and they just draft these lottery ticket offensive players in the latter rounds. Like
Here-
pick 4 and
here's your
after. That's
problem, Larry.
And then
What's
you
that?
go up against teams like Buffalo and just get shit canned because they can score
or just
points.
anybody that scores points. It doesn't make sense.
Larry, here's your only problem. Is that if the offense does well, you're going to lose your offensive coordinator.
Yes, LaFleur will get if LaFleur turns around the Jets and becomes like an offensive powerhouse.
Yeah, exactly. I'm happy. Yeah, I'm all about that. If LaFleur's going to get a head coaching gig in 2 years, fuck yeah.
That means the
That
Jets
means
probably had a fun
everyone's
offense.
That means he's
I'm
killing
just
it,
saying,
and I'm all
that's
for
the
that.
only
I'm
thing
all
I
for
hate
that.
about having
Any
defensive-
fucking anybody any coordinator that's gonna have a successful team or whatever, a successful offense is gonna get another job somewhere. That's just the cycle of NFL coaching.
Well, I posted this morning. Is there a chance that the Patriots are the worst team in the NFC and the AFC East?
Yes.
No, because
They don't have an offensive coordinator. dude.
Belichick won't let that happen.
They do not have an offensive coordinator.
So you're saying that the Jets are going to be behind the Patriots?
No, leave it up in here.
It's a good question.
I mean, if I had to pick right now, I would not be. It's not crazy to take the Dolphins and maybe the Jets over the Patriots.
I don't think Tua is going to be able to. I think,
Look,
that Dolphins offense.
they're saying
Even though they have Tyreek Hill, are they going to use him properly? Are they able to? I mean, Tyreek Hill had Pat Mahomes throwing him the ball. Now he's got Tua throwing him the ball. Is that the same velocity and accuracy that he's
Tua
accustomed
did
to?
have a nice deep ball in college. He wasn't.
I mean, you saw Tua's quotes about Tyreek is like his job is to get it in their hands so that they can do the damage.
So they're gonna. I mean, look at how the Niners got the ball in Debo's hands.
Fucking Rucker, dude. Nice.
Line of scrimmage.
Local guy. It's a Long Island guy. This is a big time pick for them. Oh, the teammate of Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was
And Rucker turned it on. He had a great combine.
No,
I think it's a
Larry,
good
you
pick.
should be pretty happy.
Another offensive piece. He's a good blocker.
Is he
Very nice.
Is he the next Kittle?
You know
Kittle's
what? I feel like he's ascending. And when you look at his stats, the way
If he can block, the thing is, are they going to make him block like the Niners, like Floor and the Niners had Kittle blocking?
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, he's got. Tight end. He's in a good spot. He's got 2 veteran guys in front of him.
That's a hell of a draft.
Yeah. I mean,
He's
offensively,
too slow for
yeah.
me. Too slow.
What's that?
Too slow.
What was his Raz?
Let's see. His 40 was 4.76, so technically didn't make
Ooh,
my.
he's
Jelani Woods or Jeremy Ruckert? You taking Jelani over Jeremy?
I mean, Woods on paper. If you knew nothing about him, if I didn't listen to a lot of the noise on him, I would be all about Jelani Woods. But there's just too much smoke with people that actually watch him play, and they're just like, yeah, he's terrible. Like, did you ever hear what Matt Waldman said about Woods? Not that Waldman's like perfect, but
Right.
I think I've started to respect Waldman a little bit more now because he doesn't at all listen to any noise. Like he's the guy. Like, and I had this conversation with Ray, like offline for like an hour one day, and I said, Ray, if I gave you film just to watch, but you didn't know anything about the teams, the players, the schools, or anything, would you be able to tell me who all the top guys in the NFL are? And when you really think about that, like, I don't think there's a lot of people that if you didn't say that this guy went to Alabama or Ohio State or Clemson or whatever, like that they would really be able to just watch tape with blank jerseys and blank names and be able to tell you who's great. You know what I mean? But Matt Waldman is like Jerry. He said Jelani Woods is absolutely terrible. He said he's one of the worst tight ends he's ever watched. But in 3 years, he made 2 plays that made him look athletic.
Well, I
Basically,
mean,
he's stupid.
Well, what was it? Who was his quarterback? I mean, was he in a position to make plays and be successful?
I mean, his team was okay, but I don't even think it matters at tight end. You know what I mean? Like tight end, I don't think you can look at college production and say that's what's going to translate to the NFL.
Like Jeremy Ruckert, or is he like a future Dawson Knox?
He's not as athletic as Dawson Knox. That's for sure.
I mean, you're talking about Ruckert at Ohio State, who had, I mean, considering the competition that he was up against in terms of his teammates catching balls out of the backfield, he did okay. I mean, Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave.
I mean, Dawson Knox is a pretty good athlete, though, so I think he's better than Jeremy Ruckert. But I mean, you know what?
I use Dawson Knox as an example because he didn't have like he didn't have the stats when he was drafted.
No, yeah, you're right. He was behind Metcalf and
he was
at Brown and Elijah Moore. He never did anything.
That was in an offense that had just crazy receivers.
Doesn't have a RAS score at all, or am I doing this wrong?
Ruckert?
Yeah, I don't know.
You spelled Raz wrong.
No, I'm on the right place. I just maybe.
Sky Moore.
You have to pick his position.
James Cook would have been nice for the Chiefs, also. You know,
he doesn't load his stuff.
Kansas City.
Sky Moore on the Chiefs. I mean, you got Juju or Sky Moore. I mean, is Juju the wide receiver one there? Is he the alpha?
I think people would take Juju, but if you went the other way, I wouldn't say you're dumb.
Yeah. They have an orchestra at the draft. Did you see that on the stage there?
Yeah.
I just noticed that. KC, what's the pick?
Leo Chenal, that's a good pick. He kept falling. Linebacker.
Well, really paying attention to that defense. The Chiefs working on that porous D, that Swiss cheese D.
9 or 105, so they're coming in.
Well, we got, let's see, 2 picks left. 2 picks left. The Rams.
The
first pick for the Rams.
Wow, where do the Rams go? This should be fun. Shakur. I mean, they're gonna go offense.
I think Ruben might know because he's a Niners fan, but I'm pretty sure the Rams, the only thing they have that's like could kill them is their offensive line.
What about Sam Howell to the Rams?
No.
That's
they think they need to take offensive linemen, didn't they? I mean, didn't they? Their offensive line started to get bad during the back end of the year. And
they lost the left tackle. Windworth retired, and that's why. If you saw that video of when the Patriots took Strange at 29, or
that's the dude they wanted, right? In the fourth.
That's why they were saying that they liked him, but they were looking forward to him right here at 104. That's the guy they wanted at 104. Who do they take? Oh, they did take an offensive lineman. Logan Bruss.
From where's he from?
Doesn't say on the GPA here.
Logan Bruss. Oh, Logan Bruss from Wisconsin. I bet you that guy's fucking mean and nasty.
Wow. So Chiefs 4 defense and Sky Moore.
Yeah.
So Sky Moore.
Larry likes Sky Moore. You've mentioned him 84 times on this show already.
I have?
Yeah.
At least 80 of them since I've been on in the last 10 minutes.
Really?
Wait, the Niners have the last pick. Are they going to double up on running back?
Oh, gosh, no.
Isaiah Spiller?
They should take a receiver, honestly.
Well, Tampa Bay has the last pick. It looks like 106.
No, they always have whoever's next.
Yeah, the Niners
Oh,
have the last
really?
pick. Tampa Bay starts the 4th.
Oh, the 4th. Nice. And that's it. Was that like a 12 o'clock start tomorrow?
I think it's early. Well, yeah, for you guys, yeah.
I do think the Niners should take a receiver.
They probably won't. Oh, they do.
Khalil Shakir?
Nope. Don't know this guy.
Nice.
I mean, there's only a couple players that I think could go. Calvin Austin?
Nope.
Let me make a guess.
Justin Ross? Oh, you know Justin Ross. Danny Gray?
That's the one.
Danny Gray?
I've never heard of him.
Okay.
SMU.
Yeah.
He's a special team. He's a special teams guy.
I was looking at
Basically,
I was looking at Danny Gray, Calvin Austin, Khalil Shakir, Justin Ross. Those are the only 4 that I thought might
So
go.
why did they take a was he a kick returner?
I've heard people like Danny Gray. Danny Gray ran a 4.33, so speed. No special teams, no.
He's a special teams guy, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know if I really like Danny Gray for fantasy, but
Well, yeah, no, he's not a fantasy guy.
I mean he's fast, but he hasn't really done anything. Didn't really.
He's like,
produce
I mean, what San Francisco's got like well, they had Taylor and Pettis, those little spark plug type of guys. Danny Gray, 2 no-name guys with their only picks. That's kind of weird. John Lynch.
That's it. The draft is over. I don't hate the pick, Ruben. I just don't think he's going to be at all fantasy viable. It looks like he's a one-trick pony.
Fast.
4.3, 340, 3rd fastest in the class, but his college production was garbage, even on a shitty team. So, like, he never had more than 800 yards.
They need a return.
He reminds me of, you know who he reminds me of? That dude from that the Niners had for a short period of time, and he played on the Browns and the Travis Benjamin.
Jeff Garcia.
That type, just like I mean, he's just like a fly route. No, he's just like a fly route guy. You know what I mean?
Benjamin played a little bit this year, but if he can return kicks, that's what we need.
Debo getting traded.
Okay, let's wrap up this. What was your big surprise of the second, third round? Any major surprises, Scott?
Major surprises?
Something that what do you think? Anything that made you
well, we had 29 fantasy relevant players, so quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, tight ends go in the first 3 rounds. So that's, I mean, it's not horrible. That's actually more than other years, but it's just as the quality is not going to be there that we're probably looking for. But I would say, honestly, if I had to really just, it's not that relevant. I actually think Wan'Dale Robinson going 43rd was a surprise to me. And that's, I mean, I like that. I mean, that's one of my favorite players, but him going that high ahead of George Pickens, ahead of Sky Moore, you know, that surprised me. And then Tyquan Thornton going to the Patriots. I mean, that guy wasn't on anyone's radar, and he went in the top 50. I mean, that's shocking. I think those 2 picks stood out.
Patriots kind of just their whole draft was kind of like, whoa, that's a weird guy. Like, dude, that was their theme.
Look back at the last 4 years of the Patriots drafts. They've fucked them all up. They've wasted so many picks in the last 4 years, and they get credit for being like this amazing organization that's like outthinking everybody. But then you go back and look at their picks, and it's like, dude, they have 4 players that are worth anything that they've drafted since 2019. And they've wasted a ton of high picks, like 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round picks. The guys aren't even in the league anymore.
That shit started with Lawrence Maroney, I think, when they started all that nonsense.
Well, you remember 2 years ago, they drafted Dalton Keene and Devin Asiasi. They wasted 2 third-round picks. Then the next offseason, they signed 2 fucking tight ends to massive deals. Yep. And then that same draft, they drafted a kicker, Rohrwasser, in the 5th, and they cut him before training camp.
Yep.
I mean, first of all, you shouldn't draft a kicker, but if you draft a kicker, it should be like Evan McPherson or Jake Elliott. Like, they should be good. You shouldn't draft a kicker in the 5th and then release him before he even starts.
Well, it's like that Tampa kicker they took. What was that? It was an early kicker.
Yeah.
That was in the 2nd.
Him. Ruben, what's your draft impression other than the 49ers are killing it, right?
Oh, yeah.
But what Any major like wow, I wasn't expecting that.
I really thought that Willis would have gone in the second. I didn't think he was going to go all the way to the third. That really sucks because I took him yesterday at 101, so that sucks.
Wow, you took a guy 101 that went in the third round of the NFL draft.
At 8 o'clock yesterday morning. But basically, our Superflex drafts are actually one quarterback drafts.
That doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah, you have rookie drafts.
Yeah, rookie drafts. Yeah.
I mean, like, honestly, yeah, you're right. Other than Pickett, I could see like the first 15 to 18 picks being non-quarterbacks.
In a 12-team league, yeah.
I think somebody said in the HQ chat, like all the Superflex mocks are out the window. He's like, well, it's a good thing I did a bunch of 1 QB mocks too.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, other than that, I don't know. I was not as attentive today as I was yesterday. I was kind of busy, but I think Wandell, I was surprised he went so early too. So.
I mean, John Mechie going in the top 10 of the second round too, coming off an ACL injury. That says the NFL must have really liked him. They like, you know what? That was just SEC. You know what I mean? That's like somebody wants SEC production, and they're just going to pay. They're going to draft that before Sky Moore. You know what I mean? They're just going to take the SEC production and throw the rest out the window.
The other thing I'd say is surprising. I don't think any of the, I don't know, top whatever wide receivers, but like the top probably 12, 13, 15 wide receivers didn't really end up in any landmine positions that I can think of. Right? I mean, nobody's in this like. I mean, there's a couple that are in pretty good spots, but nobody's in any just like absolutely horrible spot that I can think of.
Right. There aren't too many like I think it was last year or the year before, everyone was just like, oh, every landing spot was just like, oh, this blows. All these guys landed in decent spots, like teams that needed wide receivers.
Even the running backs are like the top 3 or 4 aren't in horrible spots either.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who emerges.
I really like the Breece Hall spot. I
could see Pete Carroll fucking with Kenneth Walker a little bit and pissing people off.
I guess that one. Yeah, I like Cook going to Buffalo because I think that helps Devin Singletary. Actually, I mean, I think people will be down on him, but I think, remember we were talking yesterday in your Patreon, Scott, about snap shares and stuff like that, and Devin was only like oddball one that had like 90% or something like that, or whatever number it was, over 6. So, I might go try and him for some mid seconds or something. Send some mid seconds for him. I don't know.
So Corral is on the Titans.
Panthers.
Oh, Corral's on the Panthers. So who's left? Sam Howell, really.
Sam Howell, yep.
And the other guy that people are like, eh.
I think one guy's that's going to get overdrafted because people are going to buy the pedigree is going to be Trey McBride. But I don't. That's somebody where I'm kind of. It doesn't mean I'm not high on him, but like he actually got drafted at a place where they have Zach Ertz, and like you already know what Zach Ertz is. Like he's not gonna take targets from Zach Ertz. You know what I mean? So I think
it's not a big tight end guy either.
Well, yeah, and I think McBride's going to get pushed up because he went in the draft where he did, and people are going to go, well, I'd rather do this than draft a 3rd round receiver or a 3rd or 4th round running back, and they're just going to take him. But I mean, he feels like one of those guys that could be good. Like, what do I always say with tight ends? Like, I'm going to give him 3 or 4 years at least. So honestly, if there's a discount on McBride, then I'm fine because people are going to fade the fact that, well, they have Zach Ertz, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think he's going to get forced up the board because there's just nobody else to pick. So I won't
go in the top 18. He could easily go in a 2 PPR. He probably goes in the top 18.
So like our hyperflex, Ruben, where we don't have any tight ends, or we have 1 tight end, and we have, I think, pick 5, 8, and 11. Would you take? Which is okay. We're going to get receivers, which we need, but would you take Trey McBride at 111 because of the format?
No.
So basically, it doesn't even matter who the tight end is. You're just going to punt and just pick up later ones.
I can go buy McBride next year probably, for even less.
Yeah.
He's not going to do anything this year unless Ertz gets hurt. And if Ertz gets hurt, they will not use McBride. They'll use him as a blocker or something. They'll just go Hollywood and Hopkins and I don't know if AJ Green a 1-year deal. I think he was.
They re-signed him.
Oh, they re-signed him. So there's 3 right there, and they gotta have somebody. And they got Rondell Moore. So there's 4. We'll go 4 wide.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and I think Ertz will be there for 2 years. I mean, he signed a 3-year extension, so I doubt he makes it through 3. But again, I'm just saying it's not. I like Trey McBride. I like the landing spot. I don't want to draft a tight end because there's other tight ends that I'm going to be like. I'd rather draft Jeremy Ruckert around later than Trey McBride because, and I don't really even want Jeremy Ruckert, but that's just a placeholder of I'd rather take the later tight end because I'm going to have to wait on both of them anyway.
Yeah, and then if anything, I'll go get McBride next year at this time or whatever
or just worry about it next year. I guess is
exactly.
the theme. So anyway, that was my other thought. I think McBride's gonna.
Yeah, no, I saw that one too, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's so good, it's so good." I'm like, "That's why." It's not. I don't like that one. Yeah, that's really there. Like, yeah, there wasn't any other than the quarterback situation. It hasn't been I mean, that's what's just made it so is the quarterbacks. But we knew that coming in that the quarterback talent just wasn't there.
And lack of running backs when you think about it. I mean, how many running backs were taken in 3 rounds?
6 running backs, but 6 running backs went. Yep.
Who was the 6th one?
Brian Robinson, Tyrion Davis-Price, Rashad White, James Cook, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker.
Okay.
But I think that was kind of expected. I think you're going to see a lot of running backs go in the 4th and 5th.
There was a tier of running backs that just got omitted. You know, like the Spiller and
they just got pushed back.
And who's the other guy?
I mean, so Dameon Pierce is still on the board. Tyler Algier, Zamir White, Pierre Strong, Jerome Ford. All those guys will go in the 4th.
The RBs really took a back seat. I mean, it tells you how the RB positions is so devalued.
Well, I think
White, Pierre Strong, Dameon Pierce.
Teams know what these running backs are. They're depth pieces. So if they need them, they'll take one. I don't think teams are sweating about not being able to get a running back in this draft.
They're all the same. You just give them the ball and let them run.
But just kind of back to what we talked about, either I can't remember if it was today or if it was yesterday in your Patreon again, Scott, about the snap share. There's only, was it 6 or 7 guys over 60% snap share last year?
Yeah, 2020 there was only 8, and last year there was only 7. So I mean, the fact that you complain about this guy not getting more than half the work, like getting more than half the work is reserved for like the elite bell cows that you've already seen do it. So there's a reason that the same guys like Mixon, Zeke, Henry, those guys are the ones that are doing it year after year after year. So I'm not even sure. I'm not sure you can even take a guy like Kenneth Walker and assume he's going to be ever at 60%. You know what I mean? Like he may never be.
And I don't think you can even do that for Breece Hall this year.
Maybe, yeah.
But I really like that landing spot for him.
So we didn't talk about this, but just real quick, and maybe we'll wrap things up. Malik Willis, where are you taking Malik Willis, Ruben?
Well, I already did.
Well, where are you taking him next week?
I'm probably not.
Well, you have to. You have a pick in every round.
I'm not. 3rd round quarterback.
He's got one.
If it has PPC in there, maybe I'll take him in the late 2nd.
In a super flex.
Yeah.
Was he 3rd round draft capital?
Yeah.
And
is he the heir apparent? Does he have heir apparent?
He's a project.
I
mean, the NFL told us what he was.
If you already own Malik Willis, what are you trying to get for him right now?
I have 3 Willis and 3 Corral shares in Devi, and I basically just feel like they're just park him on my taxi type players. Like I'm not.
You're not going to move. They're just holds.
I
I've been shopping Sam Howell for the last like month. After like,
Well, you tried to send me Sam Howell in run and gun, and I was actually waiting to see if he got picked. And if he would have gone in the first round, I would have probably taken the trade. But I knew there was risk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I almost traded him for the 111 in the run and gun.
Yeah, I have the one. I have the 111.
Oh, okay. I
and I sat on it until I saw if he got drafted. If he would have gone in the first, I probably would have taken it. But then I'm like,
okay, I did like the 109 to the 110. Well, I'd send it to every guy that had that was in the tail end of the rookie draft. I think Texas Empire came back and was just like, this is interesting. And then I just fired back. I added Emmanuel Sanders and like some other scrub on my team.
And you added Emmanuel Sanders in. That's really fucking sweetened the pot, Larry. Maybe if you throw in Darius Slayton, I'll accept the deal.
Yeah. Dang it. And here I am stuck with Sam Howell.
I think I have what? I have a startup tomorrow that starts tomorrow and a rookie draft tomorrow that I have 101.
Is this you're in your war room right now? We're in the Superflex DGen war room.
I got it.
Oh, look at that. That's a sheet.
And a rookie
You're looking at his sheet right now.
I have to print a calendar out with all of them.
I will say I'm not getting text message alerts from MFL, which is really that's gonna stress me out during the rookie draft time because like I'm gonna have to be checking my email all the time. I don't know. I'm not getting text alerts.
Have you tried putting your phone number in again?
I mean, that's what Eric told me to do. He said go to every league and fucking relink your phone. I'm like, dude, that's like I have like 40 leagues. I don't want to have to go and enter the code in every single one. That'll take me like an hour to do that. But
that's like a 3-hour job. It's like
if I have to though, because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I need text alerts when I'm on the clock. You know what I mean? That helps when I have 5 or 6 drafts going on one day.
Yeah, I do email. I don't do the texts.
2, 3, 4.
I mean, can you check your email? You have to be able to check your email at all times. I guess I can check my email on my phone all the time.
Yeah, I have my emails. I check my email on my phone more than anywhere anyways.
No one likes Isaiah Spiller. He's a third round. Is he going to be a third rounder in rookie drafts? Holy shit.
No, because I think if he goes somewhere that people like in the 4th, they'll overdraft him. There's still quite a few places that a running back could go that people will be like, oh man, he could be the starter.
Everybody can take a running back.
Mm-hmm.
So Ruben, if you're in the Degenerate League, would you take the 113 or 24 first?
Give me the 24 first.
Hmm.
How about the 110? How about the 110?
I got a Scott Connor special in the mail the other day.
I have 115 in there.
What you want for it, Ruben?
Rashad White, baby.
Doesn't we have all those picks?
Way has 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9. This was that. I know you've talked about this league with the ones that had all the 22 picks. This was not. Sorry, Way. This was not the class to build your entire fucking team around.
You should have not paid attention to the Dynasty and Chill chat.
At least the auction leagues. The auction leagues, if you have all your good, you're just buy the like 4 guys you want and let everybody else have the
dude in the auction leagues like Corona. I have like 6%. I'm literally just gonna take my stack and just put that whole stack on every player I want. And if someone outbids, then I'll just move to the next guy. Like there's only like 8 players that I even want, so I'm literally just gonna max out as many as I can.
Dude, there's gonna be some lottery tickets. I mean, what percentage of this wide receiver class is gonna hit? Do you think? All these first rounders.
I mean, statistically, if you include the top 3 in the second round, you're probably going to end up with 3 or 4 busts.
Yeah, because the first round wide receivers don't necessarily hit all the time. It's the second
Well,
and third
unless
rounders.
they go. I mean, if they go to the Eagles, they probably don't.
See, and the problem with the quote unquote hit is, yeah, they may not hit ultimately after 10 years, and you look back and go, Treylon Burks never had a top 24 season, but his value is going to stay at a certain range for a certain period of time because he was a first rounder. So if you're the idiot that's still holding him on your roster in year 3, but he's never had more than 500 yards, then it's like, okay, yeah, he didn't hit, and you're not going to be able to get anything for him, but that's where the whole idea of the face planner comes out. You know what I mean? Like if he doesn't hit right away and someone offers you 202 next year, you just take it. You don't wait and say, oh, well, he's going to hit in his second year. That's when you get in trouble.
I did that with Ruggs before, he became a murderer. But
what? Before his murder?
Before he decided to be
we know
an idiot. I did that with Ruggs, and I mean, because he played 2 seasons, right?
No, he played 1, and then his second year, everyone was down on him, and he actually looked good for a couple, like 5 games, and then that's when the incident happened.
Yeah, and I sold him off of that. I think it was off that pod. Didn't you do a podcast with Bean Counter?
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I think you guys talked about Ruggs in that one, and I sold him for like 203 or something like that.
Well, and the bad thing about, I didn't sell Ruggs because mostly when you tried to sell him, people were already off of him. You know what I mean? To a point where he was going for so little. It's almost like now, like everything says to get rid of Terrace Marshall, right? But like you can't even really get like a third in some leagues. So it's like there's no point in really even trading him away for anything less, unless it's just to flip him for like a running back to change your roster construction.
But you have to probably do it to really do it. You've got to do it like going into the fantasy playoffs.
I think you need to do it. If you want to execute the face planner strategy, you need to do it on the margins that makes you feel uncomfortable, which means you should be not overexposed to Rashad Bateman, because what if he's not that great?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be overexposed to some of the other rookies from last year. Like the ones that you could ever find a window to sell, you just sell.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I agree. But you also, if you're seeing it, and then if you're seeing, because we were seeing with Ruggs after, like, probably if we would have sold Ruggs going into the fantasy playoffs during his first season, we probably already saw that face planner idea at that time, and we could have gotten, probably a late first.
Well, and then his value and Bryan Edwards' value bounced back when the Raiders didn't draft any receivers. So that should have been the window where it's like, okay, I couldn't even have got a second, but now someone's giving me the 205 or 208. You just take it.
You have
and
to.
You walk away and you say, you know what, I might miss on a couple of these, but over a large sample size, I'm probably going to come out ahead more than I fall behind.
It's like short selling a house, right? You just, the housing market drops before it drops anymore. Get out, even if you're going to lose 50,000 or 20,000, whatever. Because if you wait 2 more weeks, maybe it's 100,000 that you've lost.
Well, I mean, think of it this way. If I knew that I could invest in something and always resell at 70% at least what I paid, I really am never really risking much, right? Like I'm only risking like a 30% loss. But if I hit on one of those guys, they explode. They explode like Jalen Waddle or Elijah Moore. You know what I mean? Like the ROI, if you hit on one, you could absorb 5 players that take 30% losses and you'd still come ahead. That's the idea of it. So I think sometimes the guys that bottom out, like no one's going to want Rondale Moore anymore. So like he's a player that I'm not just going to maybe give away for like a 312, unless I just really want to get him off my roster and take another running back or something like that. But like
it's being unemotional about these and the players, right? It's the process of a player thing, but it's also the kind of goes back to the old Bill Walsh there. I'd rather get rid of a guy a year too soon than a year too late.
Okay, so I have my 3 highest owned players are Deshaun Watson, but my second and third highest owned player is Rashad Bateman and Elijah Moore. 10 shares of each. Bateman. And I kind of feel like both of them have a little buzz right now, Elijah and Rashad Bateman, but I know the smart thing is to probably sell a couple of those.
I would probably at least move half of those Batemans. If I
Yeah,
could.
I actually think Bateman's one of the few guys after this draft you might be able to steal a 23 first from some desperate person in a league.
Instead of Bateman. I would,
Yeah.
you want a 23 first instead of Bateman.
Yeah,
I don't think you can get him, but I think he's one of the few receivers where you could say, hey, like, I think I could probably trade Bateman to grab a share or two of a receiver in this draft that I don't have any of. Like, I could trade Bateman to go grab a share of, like, Treylon Burks or Drake London. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Because they didn't draft a wide receiver.
Nope.
So
They
he's going to
loaded
have.
up
Yeah,
the
I mean
defense,
that.
they took
But I don't know
center
if
star.
I don't know if Elijah Moore is going to have enough hype to try to sell kind of deal, right?
I think the hype for Elijah Moore is just coming from, I think people are starting to believe in the Jets offense.
So maybe you can sell a couple of them today, or here during rookie drafts, and then wait a few months and then maybe get rid of a couple more kind of deal.
If you wanted to sell Elijah Moore, you should have done it a week ago.
No,
Well,
I don't think it was any different because everybody was predicting the Jets to take a wide receiver.
I mean, the Jets have been trying to get a receiver for 6 weeks. I think everyone kind of saw that writing on the wall. But I think you're right. I don't think you can get a 23 first for these guys. But I think
so. Yeah, you could have.
I think you can go and say, okay, I'm putting Rashad Bateman on the block, and I'm going to take Chris Olave instead, or something like that, and just swap out your shares. You know what I mean? I think you can do that.
I'm going to see if I have any Bateman.
Shane likes Bateman. I should search all my leagues with Bateman and see if Shane's in
I have a couple Bateman leagues. 23 first is a good idea.
I mean, who would you rather have, Bateman or Marquise Brown?
Brown.
Yeah, Brown with his best buddy in a high-powered passing offense. Yeah.
That would have taken Brown in if he was still in Baltimore, right?
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah, I guess so.
But I gotta have some Bateman somewhere.
Bateman or Ayuk?
Ayuk. No Bateman.
I'd rather have Bateman than Ayuk.
I have no Bateman.
Bateman or Claypool?
Bateman.
Yeah, Bateman.
See, there's a lot of options. You could probably swing a third on any of those. You know what I mean?
I mean, because how many targets were just removed from the Baltimore offense that Bateman is going to absorb now, compared to the goose eggs that Ayuk gives you?
That's what you assume, though.
I mean, you don't even know. No one even knows if this is going to be a downgrade at quarterback. Everyone just assumes it's going to be an upgrade. You don't know how Lance is going to, spread the ball around.
Well, I will say Lance and Ayuk are working out together.
Ooh, a little insider info there.
And Debo's working out in Florida.
Well, Debo doesn't like Lance, does he?
I haven't necessarily heard that, but I've heard people like
aren't those the rumblings on Twitter that Debo said Lance sucks?
Yeah, but where did that come from, though?
Oh, Ruben's got all fucking. Look at it. Ruben's nipples got hard when he said that.
Didn't that come from Debo's brother spouting shit off on Twitter?
No idea. I didn't see that.
Or a friend of Debo's brother or something like that?
I think Debo's actually Lance is actually really good for Debo's game. I think, but we'll see.
Dumping off purposes?
Well, no, I think he's just gotta move around more. He's gonna open that. He should open that offense up more. We'll see.
Is Lance going to be good for Kittle?
I hope so.
Well, from a team perspective, from a fantasy perspective, do you think Kittle was better off with Jimmy G?
No, because what do they average? What, like 25, maybe 28 targets, attempts a game at the most?
Yeah, my argument with Lance and all the weapons for San Fran was like Lance has if Lance is good, the offense for San Fran is going to get a lot better. And that's what you're banking on. You're not banking. You kind of know what the offense was with Jimmy G. It's like, hey, let's try to score 24 points and we'll be in the game,
And if you go back and look at Lance, the first game he started against the Cardinals, he didn't know. They ran him like 18 times. That was the game plan, was to run him and just a few dump offs here and there because he did not know everything yet. And The second game he started, he looked way better. Way better. And I'm just so used to seeing these ducks by Jimmy G that would just get picked or dumbass. I liked Jimmy. I thought he actually did good. He was great. Like, he wasn't horrible. And but yeah, there was just always everyone. You could always almost account for guaranteed one bonehead interception a game with Jimmy. I'm not saying Lance isn't going to do that, but there's more escapability instead of making that bonehead play, tuck it and run kind of deal, because he can do it. We'll see.
Big question for you, Ruben. Zach Wilson or Kenny Pickett?
I think it's Zach Wilson, and it's not close for me.
Ooh.
Justin Fields or Jalen Hurts?
Hurts.
Hurts.
I think it's got to be Hurts. I mean,
I think if you send Fields for Hurts right now, it's like 90% rejected.
I don't like either of those guys, but guess what? Hurts has someone to throw to.
Whereas
Fields has nobody.
As long as Hurts starts, he's probably a top 8 quarterback.
I mean,
Top
they
8?
are giving him everything.
Okay.
To prove it.
Wilson or Fields? You know it.
Fields.
So
I gotta go. But
you're
damn,
wishing. You're just
It's
saying
Fields,
that
so I can turn around and desperately try to trade him for something else.
Who's Fields? What's Fields doing? Throwing a Komet?
Crying.
And 17 other tight ends. Is Jimmy Graham still there?
No, they signed Equanimous St. Brown and Byron Pringle.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Pringle coming right. Yeah, he'll be fresh off an arrest.
Oh, yeah, didn't he get arrested?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
So you going Trey Lance or Jalen Hurts?
There, I probably got to go Lance because of.
They want Hurts to succeed. I mean, they're just surrounding him with so much. They're doing what they're supposed to do to a young quarterback.
He was I don't know. That was close. Okay, so I'm going to go Lance because Lance is going to get at least next year.
Is Lance going to have Debo next year?
Yeah, he's going to sign a contract. He's not going anywhere.
Debo's going to get
Look
dealt.
at Ruben. Look at that confidence.
Elsewhere. For what?
A couple fourths here coming up.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, Debo's headed to the fucking Packers.
For what? For who?
Future first. Jordan Love.
23 first. Jordan Love.
Yeah, no.
What was all that Jordan Love stuff? Did you see that stuff on Twitter about Jordan Love? Like
Jordan Love getting traded to the Falcons. So that was
some troll. Was it a troll that started that?
It was probably Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, fucking burner account.
No, I would go Lance just because I'm positive that Lance is getting this season and next season and probably the season after that.
Are you confident that Lance is the man?
Like, do I think he's going to be good?
Do you think he's going to be the man? Like, you're going to go out, run out and get a fucking Lance jersey?
I'm not a jersey guy, really. So
he's got a Lance tattoo on his mid-low back.
You're going to put a Lance tattoo on your calf?
No.
No, right here on his bicep. All right, last one. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts or Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence.
T-Law over Jalen Hurts. Easy, Larry?
T-Law? Oh, yeah. Hold on. Yeah,
T-Law don't have shit to throw to either.
No, but T-Law is going to be there 3 more years at least, right?
I feel like they're trying with T-Law.
If Hurts shits the bed this season, he's done. Because the Eagles got all this stuff for him. They didn't even have to. They still have 2 firsts next year.
Hurts is a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. T-Law's the 101 who had the super hype. No quarterback has had hype like T-Law
since Luck.
Probably. So, yeah, you have to go T-Law over Hurts, who they have to stroke his ego or I don't know, or the fans' ego to get everyone on board.
Hurts versus the 5 rookies from last year, I'm gonna put Hurts as the
third.
yeah.
So really, the biggest loser of the offseasons thus far, quarterback-wise, has probably been Fields.
Well, Danny Dimes, I'd say too.
Yeah, well, of the guys from last year.
of the guys that are relevant, Danny
Oh.
Dimes, no.
Yeah, I would go T-Law, Lance, Hurts. I might put Fields 5 actually.
You put
Dude,
Zach Wilson
Fields
over Hurts. Huh, for
He's
Fields.
set up for
You know,
failure. He's
Wilson.
gonna be terrible.
You know,
He's gonna be worse than Mitch Trubisky ever was.
Who?
Fields? Yeah.
Could Fields have a season this year if they literally just let him loose, where he's actually better for fantasy than he is for the Bears?
Yes.
Because he has no chance. His line sucks. He has nobody to throw to. But I could see him running for 900 yards. You know what I mean?
Are his coaches? Will his coaches allow him to do that?
Well, they got a defensive coach, so probably not.
Well, usually the defensive coach has an offensive guy to handle that stuff. So
Yeah,
who's their offensive guy?
I want him to. Nope, we're not doing that. We're going to run the ball. David Montgomery, 700 carries.
Yeah, Monty. Yeah, the Bears are in a tough spot, man. Everyone loved Fields. It was just like, oh, it was the same thing. Like Justin wanted Fields, and I was run DFF, and I'm like, why do you want Fields? You have nobody else on your team. It'll be because I go right back to the Sam Darnold fucking experiment where they let's get this quarterback and put him on a team that has nothing, no protection, no anything, no receivers, no anything, and that's what they did to Hurts, or that's what they did to Fields.
Yeah, he's tough to move, but I think if you can, I mean, honestly, would you take Fields over? If you have any shot of winning, would you take Fields over Matt Stafford?
No.
Yes. The
Take
rushing upside is no joke. If he's running for his life the whole time, Stafford's going to throw you a pick six in crunch time. He is the highest pick six thrower in the history of the NFL.
I mean, he also had 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns.
He was responsible for my greatest fantasy season. One of my greatest teams ever in fantasy. He championed my squad.
I mean, did you take Fields over Aaron Rodgers?
Yep.
I'm gonna go try it.
Hell yeah. I'll take any quarterback over Aaron Rodgers.
Mac Jones?
Sure. What's Aaron Rodgers good for? He's good for 1 year. It depends. Most of my teams are not in. I mean, maybe. It depends. It depends what my quarterback room look like. We're looking at my team. Generally, I'm always building. So maybe if this was a particular league where I was ready to just fucking hammer it home, then maybe I would make that deal. But more than not, my teams generally aren't at that like cusp where I just need the. Normally, I just have, or my quarterback room is in decent shape where I don't need to make a drastic move like that.
Okay, so we just shit on Fields, but rookie pick wise this year, what would you pay to get him? Would you give up the 102?
Probably.
Yes.
101?
No.
Nah.
I wouldn't give the 101 for Fields. He's with the Bears, and the Bears have been shit for a long time, and there's no end in sight.
And so what we've seen last year with DJU and Spencer Rattler in this year's quarterback class, would you give up Fields right now for Bryce Young in the Devy League?
I need something else.
Straight up, 1 for 1. Someone throws
No.
Bryce Young to you, and you can get out of Fields. If you're so confident he's a bust, you get out.
No, probably not.
Interesting. I might.
CJ Stroud?
CJ Stroud, yes. I would take CJ Stroud over Fields.
Okay.
Ain't that shit crazy? Literally, you'll take the guy that followed Justin Fields that's still in college, and Fields is 1 year removed from college. You'll already take the college guy over
He's on a
him.
shit team. I mean, he's set up for failure, Fields. He's set up to be he's set up for failure.
Fields?
It's just
I
an
don't know,
interesting
but you know what?
exercise. We've seen the court.
You
If
know
we
what?
would have had this conversation last year, and we would have been saying Spencer Rattler, and we would have been saying DJU, we would have all been like, "Oh my God, I'll give me those Devi guys." You know what I mean?
Yep. The diva of Devi was all over Spencer Rattler.
It's just interesting. We've seen the last two Devi elite quarterbacks go boom, and
I like
this
Baker
entire quarterback
Mayfield.
class has
I
gone
don't know
down the
why
toilet.
everyone hates Baker Mayfield. Why does everyone hate Baker Mayfield?
I don't hate Baker. I actually would buy Baker in Dynasty.
Baker or Justin Fields? I feel like Justin Fields is in a worse position than Baker is.
Come on, Larry.
Baker's going to get traded to a. Baker was a fucking. He was 101. He was considered. He was 101 consideration.
All right, Ruben, we've gotten to a point where Larry's starting to get way over the top. He just said Baker over Justin Fields.
Oh God, no. So in that Corona League, Scott, Fields or Hurts, and can I get more for with Hurts?
Is that how many 2023 picks do you have? Are you collecting them?
Yeah, I would be going for the guys.
I would just get like his third and his fourth and his second or something like that. Just
you
to
didn't
add
have a first already. I think either you have his first or I have his first.
I would get it. Even if I got a third and a fourth, that's still like $70 I'm going to steal from him. You know what I mean? Like that's probably worth it, honestly.
Baker Mayfield or Desmond Ridder?
Fuck.
Come on.
Honestly, if I'm to a point where I'm about to draft one of these rookie quarterbacks this year, I don't hate trading it for like Jimmy G or Baker.
Jimmy G or Baker?
I mean, but that just speaks to the fact I don't really want to draft the rookie quarterbacks this year. I'd rather just draft a running back.
I'm still Baker Mayfield guy. I don't know. Understand?
Who's he gonna play?
Yeah, where's he gonna go? The shitty thing is a lot of the teams that could have maybe traded for him took a quarterback already.
He'll eventually go somewhere. I think.
I think it's Seattle or bust. Honestly, that's the one place I could see him going because he's not going to go to the Panthers now because they took a quarterback.
Yeah.
He's not going to go to the Falcons because they took a quarterback.
Texans? I guess they would have included him in. The Texans not going to take him.
I think it's Seattle. It's Seattle or bust. They're the only team that hasn't taken a quarterback.
Texans are a spot for Jimmy G.
Think so? Casario, Jimmy G connection?
Yeah, James Davis says the Chiefs really got Leo Chanel at 103. Shake my head. He's upset about the Leo Chanel pick. James Davis. Should he really be that upset about that pick?
I mean, I thought he would go higher, but I mean, what the hell do I know about linebackers? He was projected to go in the late second, early third, because I know they talked about the Bengals maybe taking him in the late second, but he fell all the way to the supplementary pick rounds.
Yep. Exciting stuff, man. So what do you think? Wrap it up?
Yeah. Panthers GM says getting Matt Corral takes them out of the veteran market, namely Baker Mayfield. No shit.
Matt Corral. Do you think Matt Corral sees the field this year?
Yeah, because Sam will probably get hurt, or see ghosts.
Well, they took a nice tackle in the first round.
I mean, like Scott A just messaged me in the because he took him in draft day at the 103, which is
well, I took Malik Willis at 101.
But he also said if Matt Corral literally can't beat out Sam Darnold for an entire season, then he's probably not any good.
Sam Darnold's not going to give up the fucking quarterback position that easily.
And Scott A hates freaking Sam Darnold with a passion, dude.
Dude, Darnold's going to have CMC, a stud tackle in front of him that he didn't have last season. Didn't have CMC last season. He's healthy.
He did, though. He actually wasn't bad when
Tommy Tremble. Don't forget about him.
Ian Thomas,
baby.
Terrace Marshall, Robbie Anderson.
He's got some. He's Sam Darnold knows. Sam Darnold's not going to fucking. He's a competitor.
Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield?
Sam. He's actually on a team that he's going to start. So.
Yeah. Well, Sam. I cannot. I have Sam Darnold and run a gun. Come get him. Come and get him.
Isn't Sam only like 6 months older than Kenny Pickett?
Right. Yeah. Pickett's older than Sam Darnold, I think,
or something like that.
Oh, know what it was? It was
Sam's a
It
little
was Scott's quarterback. Joe Burrow is older than Sam
yeah,
Darnold.
Sam is younger than Burrow. But the only thing with Sam is he's on the brink of being given up on by 2 teams. So I just don't see any.
Yeah, he needs a strong supporting cast. Clearly, he cannot carry.
Well, he went from the Jets to the Panthers, so he he actually got almost probably a worse team or worse
parallel,
organization.
and he ended up turning it on. I could have got a 23 first for Sam Darnold by week 4.
Fuck it. Next year, Sam Darnold's going to the Bears.
There you go. All right.
He'll be beating out Fields.
I love that we're ending the show on the 2:34 marks talking about Sam Darnold. Oh, baby. Thanks for listening to the Dynasty Hot Sauce Podcast. Who's going to do it? I guess it'll be me. 1, 2.